presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
Holding out hopes of playing in October, the Colorado Rockies, they heat things up when they come down from the mountains here to the desert. Diamondbacks baseball is on the air on this Friday night with the Rockies going head-to-head with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Indoors, a gorgeous and mild evening here at Chase Field. Glad to have you with us all weekend long on Fox Sports Arizona. Hi, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. Alongside, well, number 20, and we can say that very appropriately, Luis Gonzalez. My name is Darren Sutton. We trust you have a big weekend plan. We trust Ian Kennedy has a big weekend plan. Gonzo, couple of starts ago for Ian Kennedy, you wondered, is he hitting the wall? Coming back from that aneurysm last year, he really struggled in Milwaukee. Then he took the mound in Washington, and he proved that he is not ready to be shut down yet. They plan on taking about 40 or more innings or so.
Yeah, I mean, last year he had the injury, and everybody's concerned about that. His workload has been a lot this year, 24 starts. But he's been out there. He's been the guy who this team has counted on all year long. With the loss of Brandon Webb, this guy has really picked up the workload. And now we're getting to the tail end of the year. If we were in a pennant race, he'd be out there. But now they're starting to have a little bit of concern with him going later on in the season.
Were you encouraged seeing him in Washington specifically, and they talked about in the pregame show, that curveball. The curveball was back, and to me that means the arm is still strong and you're staying over the rubber.
Yeah, it really is. And a lot of it has to do with their legs, the pitchers, their stamina going out there and pitching every day. He's had an up and down at times during the season, but he's been consistent for our ball club, and it's a great sign. We've got some great young pitchers here. Hopefully this is a sign of a good future for our club.
Colorado Rockies right now, they come to town again, holding out hope, according to Jim Tracy. They are 6 games back. They need to make them up in 6 weeks in the wild card standings, and they made some big moves. It's interesting being a manager when you take a couple of veterans out of that locker room. Brad Hopp having a subpar year for what we've been used to seeing, and Randy Flores both out. Surprised, and do they still have a legitimate hope to win that wild card?
Well, Randy Flores is a big left-handed guy, so I'm surprised to see them get rid of a left-hander in this division, especially going late into the year. They're still in a pennant race. Brad Hopp, a guy who got a lot of MVP votes last year, just didn't have the season he did coming into this season, but Seth Smith is one of those guys who are running out there every day, and he's having a good year so far, so they're going to ride him out and see what kind of year he can finish with.
I look forward to getting your honest perspective on what Hopp went through, sometimes somewhat similar to what you went through here in Arizona. The wild card standings, that's what we're talking about. Tracy saying to his guys, and you'll hear it, look, if you don't think you can make up 6 games in 6 weeks, don't bother coming to batting practice. So looking forward to seeing what we have in store for you all weekend long. And when we come back, we're going to stay right in these chairs, and we're going to step it up for a big, big cause. Glad to have Luis here, number 20 tonight, as we go Gonzo for kids. We'll explain at Chase right after this. Diamondbacks baseball brought to you by Gila River Casinos, proud partner of the Diamondbacks. Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on. Segment 2 as we get you set for the Diamondbacks going head-to-head with the Colorado Rockies. Tonight going Gonzo for Kids, the bottom line, hoping to raise $100,000 for a lot of the youngsters, honestly, in our community. The bobbleheads there, autographed by Luis, and certainly a big opportunity, $50 a couple of tickets. I'm going to give the number a couple of times, and then you can briefly speak why these are near and dear to your heart. 602-462-3899. 602-462-3899, 800-952-5344. We will show the list of charities. Please explain why you've decided to do this evening.
Well, this is a great opportunity for us to give back, not only the organization, but us as a team, the fans at home. So it goes for a lot of great organizations out there, and it's going to benefit a lot of people in need. So we're hoping the fans step up today, and we can do it as a team together tonight and raise a lot of funds.
That's good stuff, number 20. Again, 602-462-3899, 1-800-952-5344. You get a couple of tickets to the game along with the bobblehead. Now, we have a couple of tricks up our sleeves. Should you buy up all those bobbleheads, there are some special items. We're not going to tell you about them right now. It's the Diamondbacks going head-to-head with the Colorado Rockies. Gonzo in the booth with us tonight. LaRoche, he's hoping to keep burning things up as you burn up the phone lines. What an August he is having. The Diamondbacks and the Rockies hoping to be, well, maybe that final spoiler for Colorado. Friday night, skipper Jim Tracy talking before the game about his Jekyll and Hyde club. It's been that way since he took over last year. He's hoping whichever it is, Jekyll or Hyde, that's the winning guy shows up for the rest of the way. They played horrible offensively on the road. You'll hear the manager tell us about it. Eric Young Jr., Dexter Fowler, Seth Smith, Tulo bats cleanup. It's Ian Stewart against Ian, his other buddy from high school, Kennedy. It's Helton, Iannetta, Barmas, and Rogers. Happy birthday, Todd Helton. Kennedy ready to roll, 25-year-old right-hander out of Huntington Beach, California. We are rolling on a Friday night with Strike One. Glad to have you with us here at Chase Field. Numbers delivered by the UPS store, 24 starts this year without a complete game. An ERA of a little bit under 4 1/2. As that one nearly takes the kneecaps off of Eric Young Jr. Now getting a look at this young man, certainly with his speed. Played a lot on the infield like his dad coming up.
Yeah, and his dad, a great ball player here for a long time with the Rockies, so it's good to see his son out here.
And here he goes. Puts it on the ground where he wants to be now with those 7 stolen bases. In just 60 at-bats, he is ready to roll. Let's take a look defensively. For the Diamondbacks, Parra, Young, Upton, Reynolds, Drew, Johnson, LaRoche. Miguel Montero catches Ian Kennedy. Big arms in the corners of the outfield. We know about Upton, but Gerardo Parra with a fabulous arm out there left field as well. I'll tell you, Gonzo, honestly, too, as we see Upton looking on, in a little while, we've interviewed you a lot, had you on as executive. I think all of us looking forward to, and our fans, kind of gaining your perspective on what you've seen, not just for the bad, the 4-game losing streak, but some of the good for these Diamondbacks on the road trip. Good baseball in Milwaukee, certainly.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I think with Gibby there, he's starting to hold these guys a little bit more accountable, calling those guys out a little bit, and I think that's a good change that our team needs. I mean, these guys are not young anymore. They should be developed and learning the game, but they're still making those minor mistakes that are costing them ball games. And hopefully, you know, Upton had a bad throw the other day that was a huge part of an inning that cost him a game. You know, just minor miscues, and in the big leagues, you can't afford to make those mistakes.
So we'll continue that conversation throughout the evening. 1-0 the count to Dexter Fowler. Fowler, another guy that will see regular playing time. Carlos Gonzalez, what a season he is having. Banging into a knee at Dodger Stadium. Good to be back behind the microphone, breaking some things down.
It really is. I mean, I miss being up here around you guys, and always get the rookie treatment up here. I love being around here and getting the rookie treatment.
They are tough on you. I mean, your numbers now out there as high as it can go up there.
They don't look at that. They look at you as the kid when you walk in here. So,
boy, I tell you, I try and tell them differently. Not really. As that one is lifted down the line, up and into the seats it goes. But it's a fresh perspective and one we've all looked forward to having. And you're doing a good thing tonight, my friend, with these bobbleheads. Again, 602-462-3899 or 800-952-5334. I didn't mess it up that time. 1-1 the count to Fowler.
So I think it's just a great opportunity for all of us to team up together and help out in our community and try to make a difference.
A lot of families making their way. Most of, I would say, all of the state back in school now. The girls have been back for almost a week and a half as he drives them back to the bag. Well, Gonzo, you talk about this top of the order, a couple of kids in Young and Fowler. Huge speed in the 1 and 2 spots.
A lot of speed. They really haven't been able to run the bases as much as they would. I mean, Young has 7 and Fowler with 12, but I think they do a lot of more movement plays. You know, they put the ball in play and make things happen. A lot of hit and run, just creating a nuisance for the defense out there. But I think Ian Kennedy could be the neutralizer today if he gets that curveball working well and throwing it down and into those left-handed hitters.
It's a funny thing, that curveball, and as Gonzo talks about, folks, how it kind of can be equal opportunity tough on righties and lefties. Runner was on the move. That's what you're speaking of. I tell you, we may have just had a nice decoy here, but how long does it hang up? Young able to get back on that one.
And there you see Young taking off there. He takes a peek in. The infielders do a great job of just kind of hanging around there and not letting them know where the ball is. Of course, Young does a good job of picking up his coaches and reading it back to get back to first base.
I am told, by the way, right now that the phones are blowing up for the bobbleheads. So if you're on hold and you're watching, hang in there. They'll get to you, and we appreciate your support. That's a good thing. I'm told that is what's going on, plus several layers deep on hold. So hang in there, folks. Over the outside corner to Seth Smith, and Smith, one of the beneficiaries, as Brad Hopp now moves on.
Yeah, really, you know, it's tough when you have a veteran guy that's been around for a long time, as Brad Hopp was, and then all of a sudden You know, this team isn't a young team out there in the Rockies. They got 1 or 2 young guys, but for the most part, a lot of these guys have played together for a while. And then to lose one of your own out there. But, you know, Hop's been rumored now to be, you know, looking at teams like San Francisco Giants. And it may end up being a good move for him to get an opportunity to move up in the standings, and not only that, get a chance to go back into postseason play.
Had an option for next year that the Rockies apparently weren't looking to pick up. And so with some time left, although this team is just 6 back in the wild card, they opted to allow him to go play elsewhere.
Well, and I think it's a courtesy to both sides. I mean, they figured Seth Smith is a guy they want to run out there. He's got 14 home runs on the year. They want to see what he can do every day going out there and play. And Hop has struggled all season long. He's only had, like, I believe it was 7 home runs.
That's the case for Hop, but you said it in the open, and I thought so appropriately. He received MVP votes last year.
Yeah. It's strange how it just kind of, in baseball, you go from Ionetta's another guy. I mean, on this ball club, their catcher. He had a fantastic year last year, and he's pretty much scuffled all year, too, this season. And he was a guy who represented the United States playing in the games.
Jody Jackson with a little bit more on this subject. Jody, what do you have for us?
Well, before the game, manager Jim Tracy, I asked him about how the past couple of days have been in this clubhouse since releasing Brad Hop, who's really the elder statesman or one of them of this team. And he just talked about it. It was a very emotional couple of days, very hard to do. He said a guy that really can go over to other guys, other players, young and old, and tell them what it's like to wear the Rockies uniform, the standards that it takes to wear the Rockies uniform. You really don't want to let go of a guy like that. He went on for literally about 4 or 5 minutes on what Brad Hop meant to the organization, and then he said something interesting at the end. He said maybe it's not goodbye, but so long for now, and that he said, not saying anything's going to happen, that Brad Hop would come back to this organization, but that a door never closes on a guy like that.
That's high praise. Jim Tracy has always been a guy that speaks fairly deeply. He's not a soundbite kind of guy. He's not looking to drop cliches on anyone.
No, he's a great manager. He's been around for a long time with various ball clubs. So, a lot of high respect for that man.
Chasing a fastball up and away, Smith goes down. He saw a steady diet of curveballs, none of them for strikes. In the end, it was the fastball that got Seth Smith up and away.
Well, I think what Ian did was he set him up. He kept throwing the curveballs down and in, and then he was able to get him chasing a fastball up and out because Seth is cheating for that ball inside on him.
And you probably can see that pitch a little bit clearer, correct?
Well, I mean, as a left-hander, you don't like that curveball down and in at your back foot. And then when you see that straight one coming in, you try to take a chance at it and jump on it. And he wasn't able to catch up to it.
There's the curveball. 1-0 the count to Troy Tulowitzki. 10 hits in his last 31 at-bats. Well, the Padres involved in a wild ball game in Milwaukee. San Diego was rolling in that game, putting Milwaukee to bed. And Milwaukee has bounced off the mat. There is a strike. They lead San Diego 7-6 in the 4th inning. That's it.
I saw an interesting article on San Diego. They're going to have a soccer tournament on their, or a big soccer match on their field. Some of their players weren't very happy about that.
I don't blame them.
Tear up the field right when they're going into a pennant race.
The 1-1. Well, I was there this past weekend. The Aflac All-American high school game. Some of the better high school players in the country. And the entire left field had some business done to it as well. So they had some sort of another event going on out there. The Padres saying, wait a minute now. Maybe you can farm some of these things out somewhere.
Yeah, and then, there's a couple teams still in the major leagues. The Florida Marlins, who have the Miami Dolphins playing there, and then you have the Oakland Raiders, who, the Oakland A's, they share a complex. So, I mean, it makes it difficult for your teams, especially your position players that got to run out there, and they're playing on chopped up fields. When you got these guys running around out there with big cleats weighing 300-plus pounds, they're chopping that field up, and it makes it really tough for the groundskeepers.
I can't imagine what that experience was like for you as a player. I mean, for you, that was the first time you had been through that, correct?
Yeah, very cautious out there when you're going for balls, especially when when guys are, hitting balls as hard as they are out there, one hoppers, two hoppers, and you don't know what direction they're going to go. So you value those groundkeepers very much so. And we're very fortunate here to have Grant as our groundskeeper. He's been here since day one, and he's done a fantastic job with the facility here.
2-2 the count to Tulowitzki. The breaking ball bounces in there. 3-2 the count to Troy. Amica Insurance, the hit zone for Tulowitzki. Up and out over. He'll go get it. Troy is 1 for 11 on this current road trip. Road trip that went to Los Angeles saw the Rockies lose 2 of 3. That one is a changeup that runs in on his hands as he pulls it foul. Rockies just aren't doing anything on the road.
No, they've struggled all season on the road, and it's amazing to see where they're at right now with their dismal road record.
By the way, this is a little bit of a longer top of the first inning, as you see those numbers, which means we're doing some brisk business for charity. 3-2, outside, ball 4. With that Troy Tulowitzki walk, already more than 450 bobbleheads sold, Gonzo. I mean, out of the gates. I mean, blink of the eye.
That's outstanding.
The folks are backed up, I'm told.
Let's keep going. Hopefully we'll get them sold early before the end of the ball game. And heck,
you relax then.
Yeah, we'll relax. I mean, it's all for a great cause. So I'm excited of having the opportunity to team up with the Diamondbacks and their community affairs. So to go out there and do this. And look at how busy those guys are right there.
One 1-0 the count. High school teammates Ian Stewart, Ian Kennedy. Earlier this year, Stewart, one of his 17 home runs came against the man he played high school baseball at La Quinta High School with. He's got big power. Call of time, Miguel Montero. And I'll tell you what, a late call of time there by Miggy. Tim Cheetah granted it, but a catcher calling time with a pitcher and an awkward stop of the windup.
Yeah, there he is in his full-on motion. Then at least he didn't bring his arm motion up. And usually the umpire points down at the catcher to let him know who it was that calls it, so the pitcher doesn't get upset with the hitter.
1-1 the count.
And there's that breaking ball right there that's just under the left-handed hitter's hands. That's a perfect location to throw for a lefty. Most left-handed hitters like the ball down and in, but when it's breaking like that, you see it out, and then it breaks down at your back foot. That's a tough pitch to get to.
Todd Helton pacing around that on-deck circle. As the 1-1 comes home. Fastball, beat him with it. And he set it up with a curveball prior to that. Earlier this year, we were talking about that matchup. And he got him on June 4th.
Oh, and I'm sure those guys were high school teammates. They'll let each other know about it.
Top of the first inning. Stewart with 17 long balls. And a nice job by Miguel Montero. So the 12-6 curveball. I mean, obviously, I would think would tell me as a left-handed hitter, you didn't see everybody throwing that pitch, correct?
No, I mean, you got a lot more guys throwing sliders and cutters and things like that. But the 12-6 has kind of gone by the wayside, I think, for most guys. But the curveball is still an effective pitch to the left-handers if you can throw it in the right location. Now, if you're going to hang it out there over the middle of the plate, it's going to get hit. But if he continues to throw that ball down and in and then pound his fastball in there, he's going to be effective when he wants to go away.
24 pitches thrown in the inning. That's the one part of lacking the effectiveness, the high pitch count for Kennedy out of the gates. He's gone 6 or more innings in 15 of his 24 starts. If there is any sort of kryptonite for Kennedy, it is nibbling a bit. The 3-2. Fastball, little topper. Kennedy can't get there. But Reynolds with a barehanded play. Got it. Wow. Fine play by Mark Reynolds, who is alive, awake, alert, and ready to go. Or a sinker, he doesn't. He's saying right there, I throw a four-seam fastball, I need a little bit of late life on it. That's what he does. He's a straight fastball guy. And the release, you can see it here. That's just a four-seam straight fastball. I'm talking about getting a little bit of jump on the end, staying on the rubber as we talked about in the open, and behind it. It's an interesting thing, Gonzo. There are guys that throw the curveballs, as you mentioned, but usually the guys that throw the straight fastballs, they're 93, 94. He doesn't live there.
No, he doesn't, but you could see there from that illustration right there the torque that those guys get behind. You see all the veins and their muscles popping out of their arms when they throw.
Stephen Drew in that leadoff spot as he takes strike one. There's 95. Esmil Rogers has pitched out of the bullpen. Now pitches some as a starter. Last couple of outings, he has actually been a starting pitcher, as that one is low and inside. Does a little bit more about him. What do we know about his stuff?
I mean, he's a guy with the four pitches, a fastball, curveball, slider, change. His thing is his command. He struggled with his command. It's good right there seeing Drew take a couple pitches, kind of working him a little bit. He likes to stay middle away on most guys. He'll come in once in a while.
Hold that thought. Let's go through the starting lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Drew, Upton, Johnson. Then it's Young, LaRoche, Mark Reynolds, Miguel Montero, Gerardo Parra, and Ian Kennedy, with Upton walking up to the plate. Well, we're talking about some pretty serious velocity on that scouting report, huh?
Yeah, he really does. His fastball's 92 to 96, so he's got a lot of life on it. When he throws a curveball, it's a huge change in speed, 79 to 83 miles an hour, so that's a huge difference for hitters.
Goodness, fastball.
And you see right there, that ball got on Justin Upton a little bit more than he was thinking. I'm a guy, and I know Gracie was too. When you come up to your first at-bat, you got nobody on base. I like to take a pitch, kind of gauge speed. And this is a guy who struggled with his command. And to see Justin go up there and swinging at the first pitch, I think it's good that when there's nobody on, you're going to come up later on in the game, possibly in a crucial situation, runners on. You want to have seen a couple pitches on him, instead of going up there being aggressive and jumping on that first fastball.
Fastball, a little bit of run, and somehow that throw never quite made it back to the mound. There it is. Boy, baseball's a funny game, isn't it? That ball actually, imagine this, touched the grass and the dirt, so we just get it out. We couldn't have Tulowitzki come pick it up and give it back to the pitcher.
No, let's get rid of that one.
Goodness gracious. That's a nice looking breaking ball.
Oh, touch the ground. Got to get rid of that one. That'll make a nice souvenir for somebody.
Justin, line drive, base hit, left center field. Nice firm, hard turn, and he heads on back. That one trickled away, but not far enough. So Upton is on. And good to see for him. He has been mired in some struggles.
Well, he's got a nice fastball, but if you see there, it's straight as an arrow. His best pitch to me would be his slider. He made Justin on that pitch before. He just missed a slider by a couple inches out there, and Justin swung through it. When he throws that fastball straight, guys like Mark Reynolds and Upton are going to feed off of that.
Yeah, Upton, before that hit, 4 for his last 43 in an 11-game run. As that one is low and inside to Kelly Johnson. 1-0 the count.
Well, when you're not seeing the ball well, you think you have to slow the game down and try to create different opportunities, work some walks and things like that when you're not swinging well. And right there, it's a good start for Justin, getting that base hit early in the ball game.
One and one the count.
Be nice here to see if we can get Justin with some movement here to try to create some action here with Kelly Johnson at the plate.
Changeup? Was that a changeup? Looked like it. Diving down and away.
It's an 86-mile-an-hour changeup for him. That's a lot of major league pitchers' fastball velocity.
That's a lot harder than Doug Davis used to throw as a Diamondback. Fastball. By the way, tonight's Key to the Game is brought to you by the Fall 2010 Health and Wealth Raffle. A very good thing. Well, 50 times 2,000, that is a good thing, as that one is fired on over. That Key to the Game, well, we're not going to give it the business at all like we usually do. It comes from Richie Flores. Another shot over there. On D-Backs Booth on Twitter, D-Backs Booth, he dropped a note in. We have a fan that posted us a note we'll share with you in a moment. Over the outside, 2-2 the count. Have a gentleman junior who is online with us. Technology is amazing. You can be online with your telephone these days. He's sitting in the ballpark, section 330. He just ordered his bobblehead.
Nice.
The 2-2. Kelly drives it the other way, but an easy chance for Eric Young Jr. as he hauls that one in. Defensively, Young, Fowler, Smith, Ian Stewart, Troy Tulowitzki, Clint Varmus, Todd Helton over at first, Esmiel Rogers, and Chris Iannetta. There's section 330, wherever you may be up there. Thanks for your support. Can't believe we're getting closer to September. Gonna have to take a break from seeing all of you soon. Not looking forward to that. Outside, 1-0 the count.
There's still so much to look forward to with our organization, with the new facility coming in. You know, the opportunity to to see who our manager is going to be if it's not Gibby, our general manager. There's so many different opportunities for our organization and our fans. I mean, we feel as our fans deserve to have a good product out there, and we're working in that direction with Derek Hall and Ken Kendrick and Jerry DiPoto now as our interim GM. So we're doing everything we can to try to turn the ship around and get us going back in the right direction.
I'll tell you the one thing, and I'll put my fan hat on. I do a lot in this job, is the honesty and the admission to the struggles in the past has been really refreshing. And not only that, the willingness to address it. And you're a part of that now, the leadership team, but the willingness to say, hey, it hasn't worked. So not only do we say we're going to make changes, we have. And now the expectations you guys talk about, it's refreshing.
Well, you're exactly right. And the hardest thing to do is to admit when you've made a mistake. And our guys have come out and said, hey, you know what? It didn't work. Let's try to get this right. And we feel like our fans deserve a better product out there, and there's no better medicine than going out there and winning ball games, and our fans are hungry for a winner. And you've seen that with you know, the Diamondbacks back in, you know, in the early 2000s, late 1990s. So, and with the Cardinals, the Coyotes, when you're winning, the fans are going to come out and support you, and the Suns.
2-2 the count, 2 outs. 22 home runs, 74 batted in for Young. Drove one out of here last night. Justin takes off. A throw down by Iannetta. Beautiful, right on top of the bag. A fabulous throw. Chris Iannetta waiting on Justin up. My goodness. Your organization, to yourself, to your jersey, and to your fans. Never checking out, no matter the situation in the season. It's just the right way to do it.
That's just the right way to play the game. It always is. Whether it's the first game, it's an exhibition game, it's the last game, it's a World Series game. That's the right way to do it. And you know, that's who I am anyway. That's who I believe we should all be. There might be people that roll their eyes when I say that, but they've eliminated themselves in my mind.
Geico quote, that couldn't be more clear the way I listen to it. For you?
There's no doubt. I mean, you have to respect the man for what he says. He's been there. He's gone out there, and he's gotten the big hit in the big games, and he's played for many years out there, and he's been in the big brawls and things like that. And that's the kind of attitude that he wants from his players. He wants them to go out there and fight every single day.
Todd Helton hustling on around. Upton is on it, so Helton with a base hit. And so the Todd father moved a little bit further down in the order. And happy birthday to Todd Helton. It's today he celebrates, born 1973 in Knoxville, Tennessee. Our Cabot Woodstain's legendary performance. His career has been one big legendary performance. One of your old foes.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Todd Helton is he's not putting up the numbers like he used to, but he still strikes fear in the pitchers when he goes out there and steps in the batter's box. What a great guy, man. I mean, he goes out there day in and day out to play hard.
The 1-0 popped up. That one off the bat of Iannetta will end up in the seats. Jason Moon down in the truck, our technical director. His birthday today, born in 1975. You kidding me? Isn't there anyone in the world that's born in the 60s anymore? My goodness. I'm Grandpa Sutton bringing this game to you. The 1-1. Fouled off. We have now sold, by the way, 550 bobbleheads, and there are about 60 to 70 people waiting on hold right now. And the lines just keep backing up.
That's awesome. Let's keep them coming.
Fly ball into right center field. Upton is over with the slide. Bangs hard into the grass and makes the play.
What a fantastic play right there. Justin Upton keeping his concentration on that ball to make a nice diving play.
He ended up hitting that ground pretty hard.
He did. There he is. He's tracking the ball down, gets a beat on it. And that ball's tough right there because he's looking up into those lights. He almost looked like he just threw his glove up there at the last second to try to gauge in on it.
Well, in the other corner, you've looked up into those lights. Are there some blind spots, if you will?
There's a couple different angles over here. For the most part, straight up is perfect. But those looping fly balls like that one is, you can lose a couple balls out there in left center and right center. And that's a tough draw for Iannetta, who's been struggling at the plate. You hit a ball like that, and then your right fielder goes out there and makes a great play on you.
0-1 the count. And good to see for Upton. Dare I say, a couple of years ago, those were the plays that he would make and have the right intentions, have certainly the athleticism, but he wouldn't make those plays. I mean, he'd be there, he'd dive, he'd leave his feet and come up empty. The ball might hit somewhere off his glove or off his arm. And to me, a sign of a guy who is taking that athleticism and bottling it up and learning how to do what's best with it.
Oh, and not only that, but when you go for a ball like that in right center, you have to trust your center fielder that he's going to be there to back you up if you don't come up with that play.
1-2 the count to Clint Barmas. Barmas earlier this year into early July had a career-long 14-game hitting streak. Has played some short when they needed him. When Tulowitzki was out, about a month's worth of shortstop. He is a guy that has been hot on the trade rumor websites. Can help in a couple of places where they have really a need for a guy that can play almost honestly with Barmas anywhere on the infield.
Yeah, and when he came up as a rookie, he was the shortstop for this team for a long time, and then he got in an injury, a hunting accident with Todd Helton, and a guy by the name of Tulowitzki took that job and never gave it back.
Could have been a very different inning, by the way, if Upton a moment ago doesn't make that play. You were talking about believing in your center fielder backing up. Let's see if it happens.
There you see Chris Young going for the ball right there. He's checking right there to make sure he's going to come up with it. And that's good. I mean, that's good to see right there. He knows he's got his back on that ball.
Great work in the production truck, gentlemen. Thank you very much, ladies. We appreciate it. Good stuff. Dropping down a bunt, hugging the line. Rogers, 3 for 10, so he handles the bat all right. Couple of strikeouts, 2 sacrifice bunts. They say with Rogers that his future probably is in the 8th inning, that he is the guy that will be the setup man for the guy. And so these at-bats will be not quite as plentiful. But not a bad idea to see what he can do in the rotation in the meantime.
You know, and I honestly think a lot of the pitchers that they target have to be pitchers that really don't need to have a good breaking ball.
Made it look easy, the bunt and the play, quite honestly. So a nice job.
And when I say that, I mean, you know, you're playing in Colorado with the altitude, so the breaking balls don't really break as much. So you have to be creative by getting sinker ball pitchers, guys with good sliders and fastballs, because of the simple fact that if you're going to throw that breaking ball, it just usually spins up there and doesn't break.
And especially one like Ian Kennedy throws. I mean, that's a guy that would probably, if he were to have his day job be up there all the time, would have a hard time with it.
And there was a pitcher a long time ago by the name of Darryl Kyle who had one of the best curveballs in the game.
Young is there and he makes the play. And for the late Darryl Kyle, it didn't work in Denver.
No, it really didn't, and he ended up not having a good career there.
inning as he leads things off, and then he made someone real happy. Watch this, our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play. Stay with it, folks. How priceless is that?
That's amazing. Just a shock on his face. He thought somebody threw something from the pool area, and then he realized it was a baseball from Chris Young. Look, he's telling his buddies right now.
Well, that's what it's all about right there. And Young pops that one up a mile high.
That jacuzzi got full in a hurry, didn't it, after that ball went in
That's the place to be. That's a good call.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Good for him. By the way, we are getting all sorts of feedback, not only for the love that Chris Young is getting, but going Gonzo for Kids, raising funds tonight on our bobblehead, autograph bobblehead sales. You get 2 tickets as well. 602-462-3899 or 800-952-5334. We have heard a lot from Arizona, of course, Colorado, New Mexico, New Hampshire, New York, Massachusetts, all ordering their bobbleheads. And we are told that the folks in Tucson, Arizona, the old Pueblo, a place we love visiting and loved it for years in spring training, going to miss the folks in Tucson. They are by far leading the charge.
Well, that's a place that I spent a long time with over there, and the fans are very near and dear to our hearts. So we're going to miss them over there as far as spring training, but I believe we are still going to have our fantasy camp down there. So I'm still looking forward to spending some time down there.
The alien defense that Rich Dower employs, Adam LaRoche has very few full shifts, and what I mean by that, 3 defenders between first and second. That's a Rich Dower trademark. He's not afraid to swing them around. Well, what a second baseman he was. And a great baseball coach. Look at him. And most of it's inside of that noggin. He doesn't need many 3-ring binders and graphs. Now, he studies them.
You know, and the players, the more time they spend at this level, the quicker they're going to learn how to defense players and move around and learn the game a little bit more. And then they'll be able to help the young players as they get here.
Hey, you make a good point. There comes a time when you're not always told where to go. The instincts will take over. As that one runs in, 2-1 the count. Mark Reynolds homered last night. He's got 27 of them, hitting just .214, 71 batted in. Waves at a breaking ball. Is that the slider?
That is. And that's his effective pitch. He's got a straight fastball, and I guarantee you he doesn't want to throw that middle into Mark Reynolds because he can hit it a long ways.
There it is again. The slider, the one you were talking about, not the fastball, the one Reynolds was looking for. Keep calling, by the way. forget to log on to FoxSportsArizona.com. Weigh in. What is the most noticeable change for the Diamondbacks under Kirk Gibson? As that one is low, and a strike, though, at the bottom part of the zone to Dexter Fowler. 3 hits for the Rockies, 1 hit for the Diamondbacks. That fastball sails up and away. 1-1 the count.
And I think that's just a show me because he likes to come right back in. Stayed out there again.
Did soft, though, with the changeup as it dives down. Dexter Fowler, last 18 games, 21 hits, hitting .333 in that time. And top to bottom, loaded with speed and athleticism when you talk about this young man.
Yeah, and to cover the ground in Colorado, you have to be a quick center fielder out there. There's a lot of space out there. And really, when you play there, you kind of have to pinch the middle of the field, left center, right center, because that's the biggest areas out there.
Picked on a curveball that, well, let's just talk about it as we'll see it again. You talked about back foot down, hard-breaking curveballs to lefties. He wanted to get it there. I don't think he did.
No, and here he is. He calls for the breaking ball, but it's a hanging breaking ball right there. He's lucky that he's a number 2 hitter in the order. You hang something like that to a Helton, and that ball is probably deposited in the seats.
A threat to run, by the way. He's got 12 stolen bases, as we've mentioned. Ian's done a nice job controlling the running game. 9 stolen bases against and 5 thrown out. And for a guy that has given up 128 hits, walked 55, that's a lot of base runners all told.
Well, and the Rockies tonight are playing with pretty much their MVP candidate and their best player in Gonzalez.
And banging into the wall at Dodger Stadium. Former Diamondback. What an incredible year he is having. 25 home runs. He swipes bags. He's got 19 stolen bases. 79 runs batted in. I guess you know you're pretty good if you're traded at one point for a guy named Heron and another point for a guy named Holiday.
Yep, that means you're going to be around this game for a long time. There's a lot of investment in you.
In the case of the Diamondbacks, he and it felt like half of his minor league teammates went with him to Oakland. 6 went away for Heron coming back, but he has been the crown jewel. High drive off the bat of Smith. Upton heading into the corner with a leap over his head and off the triangle. It is only a double. That's a unique spot in this ballpark. There's 2 of them. 2 little triangular, if you will, corners out there. Upton didn't really have a place of where he was.
No, and I can tell you from experience, that's a tough draw right there because you're getting close to the fence and then you don't realize that that little triangle is right there. See how he had that little extra feet right there and he just ran out of room.
You're almost dealing with when to jump 2 separate walls to work with. And he was just off the mark.
He was either that or you got to hustle and get right to a spot there and feel the fence and try to get to it.
In on the hands, rolled foul. Was Fowler almost?
He was still standing at first. He was a couple steps off of first.
With that ball that deep, you would think.
It was almost like he was thinking about tagging up right there.
Fair enough, which would have been a good idea. High fly into right center field. Upton is there, the play. Will be to third, certainly with the good speed of Fowler. As he comes and scores easily, so now he eventually scores anyway. Smith stays put. Tulowitzki is erased on a fly out to Justin Upton.
See, he's going back to tag up right there, and you really don't need to go all the way back to the bag. He's fast enough to where he can be 6, 10, 12 feet off the bag and then get back if he has to.
Ian against Ian. High school teammates. Ian Stewart. Big swing, and he knocks that one foul. Kind of reminds me, they play the same position, have the same volatility in the batter's box of a left-handed Mark Reynolds.
See, and Ian Kennedy right now needs to get that breaking ball down. He just left that one. He threw it in a good location. He left it in, but it still stayed up a little bit. Eventually, these guys are going to start cheating for that pitch inside there if he doesn't get it down in the zone.
Oh, and 2 the count. Now for Kennedy, when he went past the first inning, he has now gone into uncharted territory, including his time in the minor leagues. 146 and a third innings back in 2007, and he is now at 148 plus the 0-2, and instead he looks him back. And his first 13 starts of the year was a 3.17 ERA. In his last 11, it's nearly 6. He has thrown just 7 innings one time in his last 11. We're going to talk things over.
Oh, yeah, he's got him in an 0-2 count here, so they want to be sure that they're not going to make a mistake and leave something too good for Stewart to hit right here.
Had a very brisk second inning. This inning grinding a little bit more to a halt. No signs. How about that? They decided out there. Little breaking ball and a topper. Montero says, I've got it, and he doesn't. There was just, an eyelash of a moment where there was some indecisiveness from Montero. Don't know if that cost him.
Yeah, and I think that ball was far enough where Ian Kennedy should have just probably fielded that and threw it himself. I mean, that's halfway out to the mound right there. Of course, it wasn't hit well, but Montero's telling him right out of the gates he's throwing his hand up. So I think that's a much easier play for Ian Kennedy as far out as it was hit.
And a tough error for that reason on Miguel Montero. Helton just 4 home runs this year, hit 15 a season ago in 151 games. As that breaking ball stays high, there were times in his career when he was good for 30 just by lacing up those spikes. Hit 42 homers in 2000. 49 in 01, the same year you hit 57. Boy, you guys had a basket full of homers between the two of you.
Yeah, he's had to fight through some injuries the last couple of years. And there's that breaking ball again. He's leaving it up in the zone. Good thing he left it in so he can hit it foul, and I don't know if that's a sign of fatigue right there, leaving those balls up in the zone.
One and 2 the count. Turning 37 years old today is that fastball sales high. But 329 homers, more than 1,200 RBIs, over that magic double mark that you reached as well of 521 doubles. You and Gracie both over that total.
It's a great career average with runners in scoring position right there.
Popped up. Third base side. Reynolds is there. And we were recently in Denver, Colorado. Even though the numbers are down a bit for Todd, he talked about lacing it up, still loving that competition.
There's a stretch there where you're out there grinding and weren't winning. You didn't really appreciate it. But now when you get, that, the day's coming. It's not too far off. You enjoy coming to the ballpark a little bit more. You enjoy the time in the locker room with the guys. And the competition, you enjoy the competition. Even I think when you fail, you still you generally say, hey, that guy had good stuff. Whereas back in the day, you would never acknowledge that.
You're so fresh from being near the end of your career. I'd love your thoughts on what he just said.
Yeah, it's hard to let go. I mean, this is something that you've done your whole life. I mean, he played football in college, and he's got that mentality. But, to be successful at this level, you almost have to feel invincible when you go out there to play. Like, there's no sense that you're going to fail. And when you fail, you're ticked off and you want to go back out there and get better the next time out because you feel like you let your teammates down, the fans down, and everybody else. So there's a high level that you want to be at to be a superstar in this game.
Luis Gonzalez, our color analyst tonight, reflecting on those moments. Cody Jackson is with us. I'm Darren Sutton, and we trust that you've had a good week to this point.
On Iannetta, you see here he's hitting 198, but he hit that ball well his first time up to right, where Justin Upton made that nice diving play out in right center.
Pitch is in. Good 0-2 pitch. Well, that average may fluctuate, and we'll see where he ends up once his career is done, whether it's a career 240, 250 hitter. But he's a slugger, and he always will be a slugger.
Yeah, and he had a great year a couple years ago. Carried this ball club, this Colorado ball club, a long way.
The 1-2. Breaking ball off the glove of Kelly Johnson. Another pitch that was up.
Yeah, he's leaving way too many curveballs up in the zone right there. And, he's got an opportunity to get out of this inning right here. Kelly was able to get a glove on it, not able to put it away for the out. I think the Rockies do a great job of using the whole field. He stayed on that ball. Instead of trying to hook that pitch, he stayed on it, and he was within inches of getting a ball hitting the gap right there.
That makes me think about Gonzo. That makes me think about the phone lines are open. 602-462-3389. 1-800-952-5334. Of course, $50 plus shipping and handling. Drop right in. You can pick up your Luis Gonzalez limited edition autographed Going Gonzo for Kids bobblehead. If you're on hold, please be patient. Whether you're calling from here at the ballpark or however you're doing it. Bases are loaded up like a line at Disneyland right now.
And there are lines at Disneyland, believe me.
Barmes down the line. Nice job.
That's another pitch up in the zone.
Base is full, and by the way, phone lines full. Here in the top of the third inning, we're now 750 sold. The 0-1. Fastball up the ladder, 0-2. Well, if you're hanging your breaking ball, you may as well go in that same slot at 90. A unique approach that will cost him homers, no doubt. He's given up 24 long balls this year. The right-hander with the 0-2. There's where he likes it.
Yeah, that's where he needs to keep it right there. It's just off the plate away right there. But, you know, he's been very fortunate. He's left some up in the zone, and Helton missed one earlier. And then Iannetta lined that one to second base where Kelly Johnson couldn't hang on to it.
The 1-2 to Clint Barmes went back up there. Look out, some late tail.
And that's not a bad pitch right there. That's a show-me pitch. Try to get him to change his eye level a little bit, look up and down. So hopefully right here he's going to go with that breaking ball again down and away.
Base is full, 2-2.
Oh, fastball up.
Boy, now you've got to have the guts of a safecracker to throw a 3-2 curveball here. Not believing in it totally, I would imagine.
Yeah, and he's been struggling a little bit with his command. He's been 3-2 to a lot of hitters already in this ball game.
3-2. Fastball. Popped it up. Right side. Well, he had a lot of late life on it. He beat him with it.
Diamondback scout teams, local players at all different levels, and I'm joined by Diamondback scout Rodney Davis. And Rodney, it's great to see all the guys here. I know you have programs in the summer and the fall, but first of all, tell me, and as a scout, how do you go about, what is the process like of identifying these players locally here?
Well, we get recommendations from various people around the community. We see them play at the high school level and sometimes in amateur feature events, and invite them to come and develop and prepare themselves for higher levels of play.
I hear so much about showcase events and things like that, but I know you also want to talk about the involvement of inner city kids as well, and there are opportunities for those kids too, right?
Absolutely. We have a team exclusively of players of color, black and Latin players, and very athletic, very exciting, and they've done well, they've played well.
You know, for you, obviously, it's all about getting talent, local talent, and even drafting some of those guys. You guys have a track record. If you're that interested in certain guys, tell me a little bit about guys that have become part of the Diamondbacks organization from being on a scout team.
Absolutely. You know, whether it's been guys that have gone on to careers at ASU or guys that we've signed, we like our scout team to be interactive with the draft. That's the function of this, is to interact with players that have a chance to walk out of that dugout and help us win at the major league level someday.
You and I were just talking, and a lot of kids here, their parents are involved, high school coaches involved, and you know this, you know what everybody goes through trying to become a pro ball player, because your son, Chris, is actually in an organization right now, right? Milwaukee? He's with Milwaukee?
That's correct. My son was a high school college and is now a professional player, and it's unique having this experience as a parent and being able to pass it along to other parents and to young people as well.
Rodney, keep up the great work. You guys do a great job, and guys, the scout team's having a good time here tonight.
Yeah, what a great program that is. As Montero flies out to left field. Gonzo, for me, and listening to Rodney and his colleagues as they kind of piece it together, they champion it, they go and they get the funds, they do the work. It's a real grassroots thing, and it's a real good thing.
Yeah, it really is. And Rodney does a fantastic job with his staff. They piece it all together, and it gives these young kids an opportunity to get seen out there. And that's all a lot of these kids want. It's an opportunity to get to this next level and go out there and play. And for what he does, and spends a lot of quality time with these players, trying to develop them and get them to learn how to play the game the right way.
Barr with the base hit to center field, and a screamer at that matter. And the most important part of it for me, listening very closely, is young men that might not otherwise have the opportunity. And that's, I think, my favorite part of it.
Yeah, it really is. You know, he gives them a chance, and that's all they ask when they go out there. And for them to get an opportunity to come out to the ballpark today and see some of their heroes out here, these big league players that they look up to go out there and realize that they have an opportunity to get here. All they need is a chance.
Rogers has been very jumpy with runners on base. You'll have to dial that back a little bit if, in fact, he ends up pitching where they think he may pitch. That's out of the bullpen. Drops down a bunt, and it's a foul ball. Kennedy with a couple of sacrifice bunts this year. 7 for 41. He has struck out 19 times. Run on 6 hits, no errors for Colorado. 0, 2, and 1 for the Diamondbacks. All right, he's put himself in a hole. 0 and 2.
Yeah, and this is where you really needed to try to get that bunt down, especially in a 1-0 game here.
Drew waits on deck. Somehow he takes that one. It dives low. The Rockies, why might they be where they are? And that means not in the top of the race as you see all the parties involved. It's been injuries. 678 days lost due to injury. It's near the top in the National League. They just haven't been healthy. Slash, and that'll do it. So an unproductive out there for Ian Kennedy. We'll stay here, 2 away. And here's Stephen Drew.
Yeah, and the Colorado Rockies team was one of those teams that was really expected to be at the top of their division. So it really has been a struggle for them this season.
Well, the Disneyland fans are also Drew fans. That one is away. Gonzo, I'm not sure if you're aware of a special we're working on for Cincinnati. Kind of exercising the demons of the struggles Drew has had against the Reds. It's the world premiere of Chili with Steven.
Is that the Skyline Chili?
Yes, we're going to go with that.
Wow.
And so we're going to talk baseball over chili. And knowing Steven, it will be Gracie and I doing all the talking, and Steven will enjoy his chili.
It's a pretty good chance.
You know, he's a little lower key.
He is very low key.
Although he has that reputation. I've been around where he has not zipped his mouth for a good half hour straight. I promise. It was Steven and Kelly Johnson. They threw me out of batting practice today. I was by the cage. I'm just adamant that Jack Howell needs to go back to that flat top, that marine cut.
Yep.
And they told me to leave. So he was talking then as he shoots that one. Look out in the seats. Hopefully everyone's all right. Don't forget, anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day. Of course, hiding under that hat is just kind of not a big league haircut. I don't know how else to say it. Sorry, Jack. Big league coach. Up and into the seats it goes. You know, we're used to kind of an imposing haircut.
Yep.
You know, like almost like a. Remember the military, but he's growing it out. You know, he's not going out and buying a Corvette or anything like that. Instead he's having a midlife haircut.
Would you say he's old school then?
Not with the hair anymore, though.
Well, I mean, when he has the military cut, I like that.
Yes, that one is high. 2-2 the count. I used to be borderline scared to ask him about hitters. You know, he was imposing. He ran the minor leagues with that haircut. Guys were scared. They tiptoe into his office. Yes, sir. He'd have that cropped up haircut. Now he goes to something called a stylist. Not sure what that is. The 2-2. Breaking ball over the outside corner. Who's been fighting that strike zone? He's got a different crew in this time. As his fans, the Disney fans, they thought this one was wide as well. Gonzo for kids. Bobbleheads selling like hotcakes. You get the autographed Luis Gonzalez bobblehead. 2 game tickets for $50. 602-462-3899. 800-952-5334. The lines are backed up. Hang on. Be patient. As Esmeo Rogers digs in, we've got a text poll for you here in just a moment with regard to that. As that one is in, we're now more than 800 sold. 800 bobbleheads. So how many bobbleheads do you own? The ultimate fan experience. And if you said I own 1 to 3, well, there you go. 3 to 5, I own a lot, or I'm calling right now to start my bobblehead collection.
I got to think C is going to take over with a lot of fans.
0-2, waves through the breaking ball. That is strike 3. Well, are you a collector per se? Your kids? Do you see? Are there bobbleheads in your house?
I do. We have plenty in our house. My son seems to like to collect a lot of Diamondback bobbleheads.
Does he now?
He's got a whole room full of.
Does he have the Gonzo bobblehead?
You know what? I think my daughter took it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one for your house. That's it.
Yeah.
The 1-0, or I should say with 1-0, the score. It is rolled out. Got to hurry it. Nope.
And you saw that coming right there. He had great hustle right out of the box, and that's what speed does in this game. Eric Young just kind of slaps the ball out there and just hustles right down that line. And Steven knew he had to hustle his throw right there. Try to get something on it right there, but of course Young just gets right on it. Nice call right there by Bob Davidson. Veteran umpire, been around for a long time.
Laid out here did E.Y. Jr. at Chandler Gilbert Community College. A draft and follow of these Rockies. Grew up in New Jersey, Piscataway, New Jersey. Daddy from New Jersey as well. Daddy played at Rutgers.
His dad was
the older E.Y., a little thicker.
Yeah, a little thicker, but he was a great player and a great clubhouse guy. Great to be around. Very energetic guy.
Now that's what speed does. I think he's looking at 3. Stops right there. That's what speed does. It doesn't make you throw it away, but it certainly will split the attention of the pitcher. An error on Kennedy. Second error of the game for Arizona.
Yeah, and these are the mistakes right here that we can't make, especially when we're not exactly ripping the cover off the ball today with 2 hits alone. So we have to try to limit our mistakes and try to keep our club in the ball game.
Infield comes in. Pitch just a little bit low. 2-0 the count. Eli Jr. said something interesting recently when he had his first cup of coffee in the big leagues. As the 2-0, a changeup. Boy, did he sell that one. 2-1 the count. He said, I don't try to model my game after his. This is Eric Young Jr. But he paused and went on to say, but it's hard not to because we're gifted with the same abilities. So our game in the end is going to be similar. Nothing wrong with being gifted with those abilities.
And his dad was a great major leaguer for a long time up here.
What was it, the birth of the Rockies franchise? One of the early games, maybe the first game. Mile High Stadium, about 80,000 people, and his dad homered. 80,000 in a ball game cheering. 2-2. Hot shot off the glove.
Come on, Bobby. Come on, you can
Fowler thinking about 2 the entire time. The throw gets away, but not far enough away. Well, really good, hard, foot on the gas base running, and these Rockies now lead it 2-0. Top of the order's been on 4 times already.
Yeah, they're doing their share of the load there. He got a hanging breaking ball right there on the inside. Hiroshi made a nice try for that ball just under his glove. And really, Upton made a nice throw right here. He comes up firing the ball right on target. I'm not sure if that hit Fowler or if it hit off of Drew's glove.
Seth Smith given an opportunity. Things are opened up for him with Brad Haupt being released. Fortunes could have been different for the slugger out of Mississippi. See, he was drafted out of high school in the 48th round by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Said, you know what, I think as a 48th round pick, I'll go to college. I'm going to play some football. And he backed up Eli Manning at Ole Miss. There's a strike over the outside corner.
You know, I think it's great. You got 2 guys that are actually starting in the lineup today that both backed up the Manning brothers in college. Peyton Manning with Todd Helton and Eli Manning with Seth Smith. So pretty gifted athletes out here today.
A little awkward swing on a changeup, but Young is there to make the play for the out. As a young man, you play football at all?
No, I can't say that I did. My mom, I grew up in a Latin family, so football was not it was not an issue in our house. It was you can't play, you're too little to play, and you're going to play baseball.
Well, you were very giving to a soccer event, a father-daughter event. I was a part of this winter, and you came out with some of our trainers. I've seen you kick the world football around, which is soccer. You look like you'd handle yourself very well with the soccer on the end of your foot.
That's a lot of fun. You know, football is actually my favorite sport to watch. You know, I'm a season ticket holder with the Cardinals, and I enjoy watching them play. Baseball has been in my family forever. You know, America's pastime, and it's a sport that I've always played. But I enjoy watching sports, especially when you sit around with your kids and get to enjoy softball, soccer, and, you know, all these different sports, and you get to talk with them and just kind of experience it with them as young kids.
The 1-0. An awkward swing. Don't give up on it. We saw a ball a couple of nights ago just like that one take a hard left turn off the end of the bat. 1-1 the count. Troy Tulowitzki walked, fly to right field. He came off the DL July 27th, and he has torn it up since. Those are good numbers, even better the numbers of hitting .350 since July 27th.
Well, he's a good power hitter, but he'll use the other side of the field if you leave it out there for him.
That was a changeup, but about the chest.
Yeah, he's been leaving a lot of balls up in the zone. He's coming up on the 80 pitch count here, so. Unfortunately for our starting staff, we've got some great young arms, but when we get those guys 0-2, 1-2, we just haven't been able to put them away early in the count. We end up going 3-2 and 2-2 in counts.
Left it up, as you said. Uses the big part of the ballpark, doesn't try to pull it. Now, there you mentioned it, a two-strike pitch. He's not having to pull it. It's like you predicted what would happen. Unfortunately, you did. For the Diamondbacks, anyway.
You know, and our team is almost similar to this Colorado Rockies team that they were when they, about 4 or 5 years ago. Great power hitters, but now the Rockies team has learned how to use the whole field, especially playing in that ballpark. And that's what we need guys like Reynolds and Upton to do, not trying to yank balls and hit them out of the ballpark, but use the whole field, especially with 2 strikes. Instead of trying to pull those pitches, use the other side of the field. There's plenty of hits out there on the other side of the field, as you saw Tulowitzki do with the right side of the field there. Not trying to pull it, just give them what they take.
Over the inside corner, 0-1 the count. Just got a great
Or should
note.
I say take what they give you?
No, I know what you mean. Take what they give you. Everyone was with you.
Everybody but me. I think I lost myself somewhere in there.
By the way, we just got a great email. And don't forget, you can always email the booth on foxsportsarizona.com, the Diamondbacks page. This is from Dave Keene in Maryland, Waldorf, Maryland. He says, if I purchase a bobblehead, can I donate my ticket voucher to one of Gonzo's charities since I live out of state? Breaking ball, and he went around. So he's donating to purchase the autographed bobblehead. I think our advice would be, when you're on the line, ask if you can do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, it's incredible what some of the fans are willing to do out there to go for all these good causes out here. It really is. I mean, people are so giving, especially, and we know economic times are tough, but we have an opportunity to make a statement here with all these charities here to try to help out.
Gentleman from Maryland, good thought, my friend. That one is high and inside.
And I continue to say we because it takes all of us together as a team to try to get this done.
2-2 the count. Kennedy uncomfortable, steps off. Last time out against Washington, 7 innings, 2 runs allowed, 7 strikeouts, 1-9-2. Pulled the string on him. Stewart was thinking homer. So we got him out front. All right, Ian, way to get inside of his head. A tough inning, though. Kennedy having to throw a lot of pitches. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Trivia question: AT&T named the 6 active players with a 300 career average and 300 homers. The 6 active players. Now there's a good question. Breaking ball dives low and in. 1-0 the count to Justin Upton. So, you folks at home, you thinking about that one? Right back through the box, base hit Upton. And a nice, easy-going approach. That's good to see.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, his first time up, he scalded a ball to left center, and he's done it again right here to lead off the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's a nice, easy swing right there on a slider. And that's what he needs to do right there. Usually he tries to hook that ball when it's middle away like that. He just stays right on it. Nice compact swing right there. Takes it right back up the middle.
That pitch is low. 1-0 the count. It's a good trivia question. There are some big names you could think about. How many were there, guys? 4 or 6 players?
I got to believe that guy right there is one of them.
All right, so Gonzo guesses Todd Helton. Just got a note coming in. Seems Gracie is watching on his phone somewhere on the MLB TV app. Guys, he wants to guess Juan Pierre. So, well, not a very good guess, Gracie. It's terrible.
That was about as good as him running in the Legends race right there.
Oh, boy. We'll talk about that for later. It's good to be sitting by a winner. Speaking of that tonight, I tell you, I do so many games up here as a broadcaster. Sitting by, dare I say, a loser? I mean, speaking of the Legends race, I don't know what else to say. 2-1 the count. I mean, they're telling me in the truck to maybe go with non-winner, but that's too politically correct, and we don't play that around here. We like to have, our bosses occasionally picking up the phone. If that doesn't happen, you're not trying. 2-1 the count. 2-2. And this is what I mean. I mean, I'm sitting by a winner, folks. I'm going to scoot over even closer. 9 wins.
Not real big on the truck driver bills, but other than that, we're gonna be all right.
The 2-2. A little topper, and it's a foul ball. Look at you.
Is Gracie holding his pants up there?
I don't know.
Poor guy, he's not even here to defend himself today.
Neither are you, and we do the same thing to you. 2-2 the count. That one is up and away, 3-2.
He's having problems trying to get that breaking ball over. So his fastball is 93, 94. If I'm a hitter, I'm sitting dead red right here and try to make an adjustment if he throws that breaking ball.
Full count, runner at first. I mean, clearly you know that if Gracie were sitting here tonight, that would have been you guessing Juan Pierre on the text message.
No doubt, no doubt.
Not that we make that up. The 3-2 blows a fastball by him.
95-mile-an-hour fastball right there. He humped up a little bit, put a little bit extra on it. A little tail to it, kind of runs away from the left-hander.
Love the Foxmo. Oh, and that was a 4-seamer. He was across the seams there.
It's amazing when you see a guy like Rogers up there throwing that is not a very big guy in stature, doesn't weigh a lot, but he's bringing the ball up 95, 96 miles an hour like Pedro Martinez used to do. Just lets you know that you don't have to be a very big guy to have good velocity up there. You just got to have good mechanics and good arm action.
Slider is away. 2-0 the count. Every time a D-back homers this season, it's a Fulton Holmes home run. Donating $150 to the Youth Assistance Foundation.
See, now he's having problems throwing his breaking pitches over for strikes. So this is a perfect opportunity for our guys to just sit dead red all the way. If he throws a breaking ball, just take it.
He's ready for that fastball. Even a little bit out. He was thinking fastball so much he was out front of 95. When he gets that late run in as a right-handed hitter and it runs in, it's probably hard to keep fair.
It is, and that ball gets on you in a hurry when you're throwing 95 miles an hour. If he keeps it under Chris Young's hands, it'll hurt getting in there.
The 2-1. Yikes.
That pitch right there, but you could see he's struggling. He's missing location. And the scouting report on him was he struggles with command. Now what we're doing better is we're taking pitches. We've been aggressive with this guy all night long. Now we're starting to see a little bit more pitches and trying to get his pitch count up. When you work a pitcher like that, you're going to get yourself in good hitters' counts. As he is right here with a 3-1 count.
Just over the top of a fastball.
And he pulled off of that a little bit, just trying to cheat there to get to that 95. See the Foxmo right there, just over the top half of that ball.
Saw that belt loop on the hip a little bit early, and that's what you're talking about. Backed it up more than anything. The 3-2. Left a breaking ball up, got an awkward swing on it. Boy, that'll frustrate you. Please put us inside the spikes of Chris Young. Got to be frustrated.
And there's a pitch right there, breaking ball. You know, it's almost like he's telling himself to swing before he even lets go of the ball right there. He's flying open right there early, just trying to. He's got that 95-mile-an-hour fastball in the back of his mind.
Hence the check swing when he didn't want to.
That just goes to tell you that he was already cheating to try to get to that ball instead of recognizing it and going after it.
Our Amica Insurance hit zone for Adam LaRoche. He grounded out to second, back in the second inning. How about the spray chart for Adam LaRoche? Speaking of Amica. Not surprising. He's committed to pulling the baseball most of the time, isn't he?
And that's why you see most of the times when there's nobody on, you see that pull chart, because that same spray chart that you see as a fan is what the teams on the other side are showing.
What a pretty piece of hitting. We just show you that chart. Monzo and folks, we show it to you. And he hit it a bit, not a lot, but a bit against the defense. A pull hitter. And that is a beautiful piece of hitting for a big 2-out RBI for LaRoche. 78 runs batted in.
Gets a pitch right here over the outer half of the plate and just doesn't try to do too much with it. Stays to the middle of the field. Nice 2-out hit right there. Nice piece of hitting right there.
I'll tell you what, Adam LaRoche creeping up on 80 RBIs. My goodness.
Good sinking fastball right there. Now, if I'm Reynolds, I'm looking something middle away right here because they know the type of power that he has. He's got a straight fastball. If he throws me something in, you take it. You look for something over the outer half of the plate right here to drive. He's setting up away.
Off the glove of Tulowitzki. LaRoche looking to go first and third. It's right out there in front of him. Well, you were walking us through the early stages of this at bat. Into the batter's box, what'd you see?
Well, the catcher set up away. He left it just over a little bit over the middle of the plate right there. And you can see Mark, his front hip is bailing out enough, but he left it just enough over the plate where he could put enough on it. See right there, his front hip starting to come out. I think our guys just have to trust themselves to use the middle of the field. I mean, we get so homer happy a lot of times and not with our guys in the middle of the order. And we forget about small ball. The small ball is what helps you win these close games.
You know what that reminds me of, too? Going Gonzo for kids. Bobbleheads. 602-462-3899. 800-952-5334. $50 for an autographed bobblehead, plus a couple of tickets to a Diamondbacks game as well. And you get the idea. Montero, yikes, fouled it off his foot. And I'm told the phones, well, they're still ringing in that room in there. Ah, good for you folks in there. A lot of familiar faces helping us out tonight. By the way, we're almost halfway there, nearly 1,000 sold. And even if it were to stop right now, $50,000 raised for the community. Waves at a breaking ball, 0-2 the count. So if it were to stop, we tip our cap, but we hope there's more for you. Wherever you may be.
Yeah, let's keep those phone lines ringing right there so we can raise a lot of money for a lot of people that can use it. A lot of organizations.
0-2 the count. Runners on first and third. I think, by the way, you folks at home, you might get the gist that there are a lot of things that will remind me tonight of going Gonzo for kids. Maybe a guy eating his third hot dog. The 1-2. Oh, what a hammer. Montero overswings. Yet the Diamondbacks creep back in a bit. Adam LaRoche creeping closer to 80 RBIs. Park, Jody Jackson as well, as we answer our AT&T trivia question. The 6 active ball players with the big numbers, 300 and 300 or more. Pujols, Helton, Manny, Chipper Jones, Vlad Guerrero, and Alex Rodriguez. High fly ball. Speaking of long balls, deep center field, just below that yellow line. Now that, a 2-bagger, well over 500 in his career for Todd Helton. Thirteenth double this season.
Todd gets a pitch right over the middle half of the plate and does exactly what he's supposed to do. Just drives it right to center field, right over Young's head.
High pop up, very shallow left field. Parra, come on down. He makes the play. Skipper Jim Tracy, even though there have been some changes. Hawk let go. Flores let go. Telling his club in their meeting today, you better expect to still win that wild card. Let's listen.
Is there anybody that really feels like you can't make up 6 games in 6 weeks? And I really think if you feel like the answer to that is no, then maybe you shouldn't come out and take batting practice today. Because, you know, I would definitely beg to differ that 6 games can definitely be made up in 6 weeks. But going back to the question that was just asked, in order to do so, there are some matters from the standpoint of the game of baseball consistently that you have to do a heck of a lot better in order to do that.
Love listening to him talk. They're now 6.5 back in the wild card as Philadelphia shut out Washington 1-0. One and one the count. And over the last 3 seasons, has there been anyone more streaky than the Colorado Rockies?
No, and they made that great run a couple years ago. And in that ballpark, you never know. I mean, I honestly believe that they're molded to play in that stadium. I mean, they know how to play the angles. They know how to play the middle of the field there, put the ball in play. And when you go in as a visiting team, you're mentally and physically exhausted when you leave there because you have to play really 27 hard outs. And the game's not over. You could be up 4 runs with 2 outs, and anything could happen in that stadium.
Runner heading to third. Uh-oh. A stumble. He's in there. Kind of a stumble slide. Kind of a... Let's hope he's all right as that happens. That's the key with Helton.
Well, he did a great job right there reading the ball in the dirt. He's not as fleet of foot as he used to be right there, and kind of crashed and burned going into third base. We'll have to get on him about that tomorrow.
I'll let you do that, my friend. You've earned the right. I don't know if I have, as Barmas has that one. You know what? Better said. Let's just slow it down.
That might have been his quarterbacking days right there, 3rd and 2. He's got a linebacker coming at him, and he's doing the slide to get around him.
First down, Tennessee Volunteers. In that extra effort by quarterback Todd Helton. Bouncing ball, Reynolds with the glove outstretched. Fires on across. In time for the out. You'll be all right, sir. You've had a legendary career. Arizona presents Diamondbacks baseball, brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. Beautiful nightscapes here in the great state of Arizona. Boy, isn't that wonderful. Reminding all of you to visit the interactive kiosk as the light shines brightly down below. Section 111 at Chase Field. It's called Kachinko. Our friends with Gila River Casinos get it done for us. It's a wonderful spot. Gerardo Parra to lead things off. And with the bullpen phone ringing, Ian Kennedy heads back to the bench. Ryan Church has a bat. He's in the on-deck circle. Kirk Gibson looking for some offense. Todd Helton with the field and a flip in time for the out. So the night is done. And for Ian Kennedy, to pass the baton to that bullpen, a bullpen that was woeful. I mean, really struggled against the Reds after pitching fabulous baseball on the road trip. For Kennedy, 5 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. His season ERA is 4.41. He had thrown 93 pitches, and I would imagine he would have loved a shot to maybe throw one more in. Just went up and over 1,000 autographed bobbleheads sold. Up and over 1,000 sold.
That's awesome. Hey, Darren, talking about Ian Kennedy, I think, our staff here came up with these numbers. I mean, he was 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 13 times. 10 of those 13, he went to 2-2 or 3-2. So that's a lot of pitches where he wasn't able to put those guys away.
That's a good point.
That's where his pitch count gets up there. Once he gets those guys ahead in the count, he's not able to, either have them put the ball in play or just swing and miss.
Pitch is high, Quest high speed, Internet high speed pitch. Rogers has been bringing it. Kennedy at 91 miles an hour. The 1-2 to Ryan Church is high. One more time those numbers, because I'd love to hear those.
13 times he had hitters 0-1, 0-2, or 1-2. And 10 of those went to 2-2 or 3-2.
Wow. So 10 of the 13 times as Church rolls that one to the hole.
That's a lot of pitches when you add them up.
That's an awful lot as Barmes eases over, puts it away. So the man who hits in the spot for Kennedy, Ryan Church, unable to get it done. Here is Stephen Drew. So the man out of USC will watch the rest of this one. Stephen takes a fastball right down the middle. One of the few straight pitches thrown by Rogers. As I was just saying, look at that one dive out of the zone. Esmil Rogers at one time. And Steven into right field. It drops in for a base hit.
Nice broken bat single right there. Justin's had 2 quality at-bats already off of Rogers today. This is where he needs to try to stay within himself and just get another good at-bat right here. Try to stay to the middle of the field. If Rogers makes a mistake, Upton will take advantage of it.
Bouncing ball, leaving his feet is Stewart, and a fine play by the third baseman for the Colorado Rockies.
Weigh in, we asked you what is the most noticeable change for the Diamondbacks under Kirk Gibson, and you went to Fox Sports Arizona and checked out on our Twitter page and also on our website because we talked about it in the pregame show. Look what Tina Pope had to say. Tina Pope 12 is her call sign. She says the biggest change has been the team's attitude towards wanting to win and hating to lose. Now we'll also revisit this in the postgame show, but guys, this is almost verbatim from what my partner Joe Borowski, who is sitting to my right and allegedly off camera. There he is. Joe doesn't have a microphone, which is good. And there's a bunt laid down there. Something out for you. That's foul. What is that? That's an out.
Got him out of the batter's box.
In any event, if I could interrupt, because this is what I do to you all year long on the road, Darren, that's basically what Joe's been saying, and the one thing that he knows most, and what Derek Hall, I think, reiterated on the pregame show, that there is no longer a tolerance, although we've seen some tough play of late, obviously. But the acceptance of losing, they're trying to change that culture, and I think they're heading in the right direction, and looks like Tina is on that page as well.
Yeah, I would agree and look forward to that conversation continuing in the postgame show, as that one is low. 1-0 the count. First off, Boyer is the man working on the mound who quickly got that first out. Am I correct, Gonzo, that guy Young out of the batter's box once he bunted it?
Yes, he was. He was out of the box, and the umpires did a good job jumping right on that.
A little topper. Boyer's going to be challenged. Yep, there you go. Did he get him? Yes, he did. He got him with the tag. He is out. So trying to utilize the speed, both Young and Fowler hitting the ball combined about, 35 feet and 2 quick outs.
Better than that, we were able to keep those two guys off the base pass. They've been on all night long.
So a put out 2 and a put out 1 back to back. The battery mates getting the outs. It's been a roller coaster ride for the bullpen, not just all year long, but even in a smaller version of late. On the road trip, it was really good work. It was 19 innings. It was just 3 runs. And then you can almost flip-flop things, unfortunately, in the Red Series. 16 runs in 9 innings. Now, you may say, well, there was a big error. Rusty Ryle dropping the ball and the floodgates open. You know what? Pitchers have to pitch around that. Just like there will be defenders that go back into the corner. You did it a lot as an outfielder. You probably wish you could have made a play, but also took away extra base hits.
Yep.
Goes both ways, doesn't it?
It really does. You have to work as a team. And, unfortunately, when we've been able to make a mistake like that, it's ended up costing us a lot. So we just have to try to limit our mistakes.
Kirk Gibson talking about that at length before the game. A 6-pitch inning. Fowler off the glove of Adam LaRoche with aggressive base running on the front side anyway with EY. Troy Tulowitzki mistake up and away as predicted by Luis Gonzalez that he would go that way, and he did certainly. And then Adam LaRoche. Fun to watch what he's been able to do this year. Career high in a single season is 90 RBIs for Adam LaRoche. He is about to 80 and it's not September 1st yet. Let's hope all the rest of his RBIs come in an Arizona uniform, as that one is away. 1-0 the count. Both he and Kelly Johnson have cleared waivers, and I'm sure the club receiving phone calls on these players, but it's got to be the right fit, and they're not out shopping these two guys.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of teams that are up in contention right here that are looking for good quality power hitters, because these guys are able to hit some home runs too and come up with clutch hits for you when they need them.
And I tell you, when you get near the trading deadline, you know what that reminds me of? Going Gonzo for kids. I mean, really. And you might not be able to, if you're a contending team. Look, here's the bottom line as Johnson draws the walk. If you're a general manager out there, let's say you're Theo Epstein, and you might want one of these guys, you probably can't have him. But for $50, you can have an autographed Luis Gonzalez bobblehead. Just $50. Not a top prospect, not millions of extra payroll, just $50. So, Theo, if you're on hold back east, we know it's late, it's nearly midnight, and you have needs trying to fight in that wild card race, but call 602-462-3899 or 800-952-5334. Good to have Theo Epstein going Gonzo for kids. 0-1 the count. Right back through the box. Is this going to be a tough break? Yes, it is. No way did they get two. That's a really, really tough break for Chris Young.
It really is. That was a base hit going right back up the middle and hits right off of Rogers' back leg. Goes right to Tulowitzki.
It goes from a single to a fielder's choice. He even got some love from Bob Davidson as he walked by.
That's a tough break right there.
Tim Cheetah, home plate umpire, out with the staff of the Rockies as they check on Rogers. Chris Young passed by another member of that umpiring crew, and these guys are all in the foxhole together. Seeing ball game after ball game. That's Bob Davidson, good man. Alfonso Marquez, Tim Timmons rounding out this crew. All right, here we go, ready to play. But it was funny, Young drove that ball right back through the box, a kick and a knockdown and a throw, and he passed by Davidson, got a little pat on the shoulder. Hang with him, kid, that happens.
Bob's probably seen that many a times. This crew's been around for a while.
All right, Adam, 78 RBIs.
You know, he's quietly had a fantastic year. I know all the attention goes to Reynolds and Upton, but he's just settled in nicely in between those guys and just put up his numbers consistently.
And we talk about this, he may not be the rangiest of first basemen. What he does do with that glove is every ball that is within his area that is thrown from the infield, he'll dig out. He will save. He has made Reynolds, Drew, and certainly Johnson all better at their jobs.
Oh, there's no doubt how important they are to have a good first baseman.
Try to sneak by and get one and pick up a stolen base. He will take a chance. He is at 25 stolen bases.
And that's just not smart baseball right there. You have one of the hottest hitters in the league at the plate right now. He's just trying to take advantage and get an extra base right there. And really what it did was put the tying run that was out at the plate now with nobody on base, 2 outs. And now they're able to put kind of a shift again on LaRoche.
2-0 the count. And a poor base running decision at times to brighten your day when that occurs. That makes me think of going Gonzo for kids. 602-462-3899. Almost should feel like you need to buy one, really, if you're making out like that on the base paths. We need CY calling up.
Well, he's in the dugout now, so he's by the phone. He might as well pick it up. I would have rather had him on the base pass.
I understand, and buy one later. I get that. That's why that reminded me of that. Unbelievable. Swing and a miss, 3-2 the count.
Well, it changes the whole at-bat for LaRoche now because he had the 4-hole open because the first baseman had to hold him on. And now with Young getting thrown out trying to steal like that, it pushed everybody over on the defense.
And suddenly Rogers feels like he just escaped. Strutting his step, a swagger, and let's hope that the Rockies don't feel that momentum offensively. We'll see. Grab your bag. It is on. Quest high-speed internet, blazing fast speeds at one burn up your wallet. Deer Valley Hyundai dealers. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Your dollars. Hyundai, the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. Visit valleyhyundaidealers.com. Troy Tulowitzki, 3-1 the score. We head into the 7th inning. Boyer just 6 pitches thrown. 0-1 the count. 3 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for the Rockies. A run on 6 hits and 2 errors for the Diamondbacks. A little bouncing ball. You know, with Boyer, he's blessed with such amazing stuff, and there's no denying the inconsistencies he's been plagued with. But it's almost so good, it's throw it down the middle, and that's what happens.
You know what happens? A lot of times these guys, they try to overthink out there, and they try to be too perfect, and what you end up doing is making mistakes. But when you just get up there and just throw the ball, your ball's moving and sinking and running, you're able to be effective like he is right now.
Curveball, a thing of beauty. 0-1 the count. That one is high and away. 1-1 the count. Ian Stewart. Not a bad idea at all. Got a great note here from Kenneth Comstock in New Mexico, Cannon Air Force Base. He says, hey, Sut, I'll run for Gracie and guarantee his first victory over the Giant Heads. I come home about every 2 to 3 months on leave from Cannon Air Force Base. I always catch a game, as that one is fouled off. Signed a D-backs fan from day one, Airman, first class, Kenneth Comstock. And he says, love you, Courtney Ann. I'll be home soon. Well, we know you could, and we thank you for your service.
No doubt, no doubt. These guys protect us day in and day out, and we appreciate that.
Bouncing ball, LaRoche. Gobbles it up. But until Airman First Class Comstock returns, Gracie continues to lose. Jack in the box, thinking outside of the box. Gonzo is up here making sure, yeah, get it going. Look at this. Wow. Oh, unhitched the trailer, you say. Holy smokes.
He's been eating a lot of cheeseburgers. I've been watching him.
Oh, goodness gracious.
He's probably sitting right now in the hotel room, ordering room service.
See the kids up there crying when he came around? One hugging the guns. Look, no. Golly. It's been a tough year for Gracie. The 1-0. High fly right field. Upton going back to the wall. He's got room. A 1-2-3 inning. That last one, he'll tell you. That's all right if I got him popping up. 7th inning stretch.
Post-game show, Joe. The difference, Ian Kennedy, his last start in Washington, to this one. What'd you see?
Plain and simple. Leaving the ball up and out over the plate. There could be many reasons for it. Fatigue, maybe different change of venue, whatever it might be. I'm going to go outside the box, and I'm going to go give you my reasons after the game, and I'll give you a hint. It's something that doesn't go into a slump.
You're not going to do it now, though?
Oh, no, not at all. Right after the game.
Wow. Tell you what, Luis, Darren, that is the prototypical vertical tease for the post-game show. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Now, when you're later in your first year, that's great stuff. It's almost like when you're done with your freshman year. You're a sophomore by the end of your first year. He's not a rookie anymore.
No, he's not.
Joe does a great job
out there. He does.
He
leaves you on the edge of your seat. He leaves you hanging out there. Makes you want to tune in to find out what he has to say.
1-0 the count to Mark Reynolds. So stay tuned after the ball game. Quest Diamondbacks Live, our post-game show. Going to have Todd back in the captain's chair as that one is swung right through. 1-1. Getting late, Gonzo. Getting very late. And this pitcher has been some kind of special as well. Waves through it. This is a converted infielder, by the way. Young man out of San Pedro de Macorís, born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. But an infielder in the Rockies minor league system, and a solid take there. As a matter of fact, you know you're a converted infielder when you look at the pages in the media guide describing Rogers, and there's two separate sections. Here he was as a batter and as a pitcher. And another solid take. And when you look at the numbers, the career batting record, you can see why he turned out maybe to be a good pitcher.
Well, there's another guy that you know very well that was a converted shortstop that ended up being a good reliever in the game and still is, in Trevor Hoffman.
Mm-hmm. Perfect example. The 3-2. Tries to pull the pitch away, charging. He took a bad hop and he turned it into a nice play.
Well, here's Mark Reynolds right here in this last at-bat. He gets his first pitch right down the middle, and his front hip continues to fly out right there. You see that every time with Mark. And then the next swing right here, same thing, middle away slider, and he's already out on his front foot. That front hip and that front shoulder continues to come out. And they're going to stay away when you swing like that, and there it is again. He's got nothing behind that swing. Now, if he drives a ball like that to right center and stays behind it, then the pitchers are going to start coming back in. But if you continue to take swings like that, they're going to stay out there with you all day long.
Good stuff, good illustration, and the finest hour as a starting pitcher in the career for this young man, Esmil A. Rogers. Glad to have you back at the ballpark, Miguel Montero. He will not face Esmil Rogers. Instead, called to the bullpen. Matt Reynolds gets his opportunity. And one of the reasons that a big change was made, Flores being let go, Randy Flores. And Flores will be working again very, very soon. Veteran left-hander. They go with the younger left-hander. Made his major league debut last night. Yikes. Big breaking ball. 0-2 the count.
And Matt Reynolds, a guy with a good fastball, 89 to 92, a slider and a changeup.
Miggy lets it travel as far as he can. Mason Jr. in a fine play. And up and over the wall he goes after he hauls it in. A nice job.
Little Bo Jackson jump right there without the running across the wall. Good concentration right there.
And so now Gerardo Parra. Another huge bender. Pacific Coast League All-Star. Left-handed batters hit 192 against him in AAA. 20th round pick. A 20th round pick in 07. That's how quickly he has gotten here out of Austin Peay University.
And these lefties are a hot commodity right now. There's not a lot of them out there. So if you've got a good one, you usually tend to hold on to those guys.
Matt Reynolds, 6'5", 240. Oh, diving play, popping right back up. Clint Barmas. And this young left-hander, we'll see him for a long, long time in the National League Western Division. Just his second appearance in the Major Leagues. And looks undaunted. He's got some pretty good gloves behind him as well. In the house, one of the best I've ever seen in person. It's on for the first time in person this year. Halliday shutting down Washington 1-0. And the Brew Crew, they were trailing by a handful of runs, and they got out the whooping sticks and took it to San Diego. San Francisco too much for St. Louis. The Cardinals kind of struggling right now. So that is the out-of-town scoreboard.
Races are starting to tighten up a little bit, aren't they?
It's very interesting. I tend to think one of the divisions, because people are starting to not call divisions, but feel like they got to have a feel for it. Steven with a dive from his knees, long throw, and the turn was dive at how far. Iannetta did not make a turn at all. That's the key. If you make a turn, you can be tagged out, but he didn't make a turn at all. And a good effort by Stephen Drew. That's a hit. You always try with Iannetta, Rob.
Oh, Iannetta, that's his third time up. He's hit 3 balls hard. He could very easily have gone 0 for 3 today. The one ball kicked off of Kelly Johnson's glove on that line drive, his last at bat, and then that one right there in the hole where Drew tried to make the play on him.
The one race, Sam Dummel fires strike one. The numbers for Sam. What do you like in Sam when you watch him work out there?
Well, you know, they're all good young pitchers over there, and I just like the fact that they're getting experience right now. We're 20-something games out, so this is a chance where you get to showcase your stuff, especially against teams that are in contention. He goes right after guys. And that's what you need to do. Let your defense do the work.
That was a slider. He throws a lot of pitches down there that will have that same dive to it. To throw a cut fastball. Similar to early in the year as Ryan Spilborghs will pinch hit. We shared a story with you. Joe Madden, the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, was saying to me in his office before the game, he said, I don't know what a rusty Ryle is, but I certainly like it. Madden said that about Ryle. Well, Dusty Baker said the same thing about Sam Dummel the other day. I've never seen this Sam Dummel before, but my players are talking about him. Now remember, in that outing, he stayed in maybe a little bit too long, and the Reds got to him.
Right.
But the one guy that was talking about him more than anyone was Scott Rowland. Rowland saying, I have never seen a guy with the ability, with that much life on his baseball, to be able to cut it and sink it at the same time and to throw a slider out of the same spot. Rolling, and Dusty said it, doesn't swing and miss at balls by 1.5 feet, and he did.
Well, that's a good sign when you got a young guy with a live arm like that with a lot of action on his pitches.
And guys like Dusty Baker and Scott Rowland, they're not, for young players, they're not looking to hand out compliments, especially to opposing young players. But if you earn it, they'll give it.
So you got a nice tight motion right there, good follow through.
2-1 the count.
Nice torque right there. It's a good young pitcher in the organization for us now.
Demo out of TCU, where there is a dominating pitcher that just finished a perfect freshman year, pitcher of the year in college baseball at TCU by the name of Matt Perk, a left-hander. He'll be a top 3 or 4 pick next year. As that one into the dirt. Waiting in the wings, we take a look at Tyler Skaggs. He is now a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's brought to you by Nissan. D-backs debut last night at South Bend. Big, tall, 6'5" lanky left-hander. Had about 8 days off, so getting stretched out again. Welcome to the Diamondbacks, and has had a fabulous year. He was a key piece in the deal, Tyler Skaggs.
Glad to have you with you, Tyler, and hopefully we'll see him up here real soon. Lefties, gotta love them lefties, especially in our division.
Bouncing ball, Reynolds flags it, looks the runner back. Nice play. Well, you might wonder what's brewing, and it's brought to you by our good friends with the Miller Brewing Company. Tomorrow, Barry Enright v. Ubaldo Jimenez, 17-3 with a 2.59. Joalis Chassin on Sunday against Daniel Hudson.
That ought to be a good matchup tomorrow night.
You bet.
Looking forward to seeing that one.
You will pass the baton in the color analyst chair to the Hall of Famer Joe Garagiola, who will join us.
I'll be in-house watching it here live.
As that one sails away. Folks get quite a treat at home this weekend, don't you? If you don't make it out, I really would rather you make it out, but get to see that young man pitch. If you watch at home, you get Gonzo one night, Joe the next, and then Gracie back home on Sunday. The 1-0. 1-1 the count to EY. And the guys in the truck, of course, feeling left out. They'll just be the same people. So producer, our main producer, kind of using the term very loosely, is getting close to another vacation. He won't be mentioned by name. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. There's that cut fastball. 1-2 the count.
You got to think he's going to come right back with that one again.
Inside again with a cut fastball. 2-2 the count to Young. Colorado 3 runs, 11 hits and no errors. The Diamondbacks are run on 6 hits and 2 errors. More than 26,000 on hand tonight as the 2-2 lined the other way. Barr is up with it. Right to the cutoff man with that solid arm. He was already playing shallow because Young was a slap hitter.
He just beat him in on some good hard cutters, and then he tries to come soft on the hitter, and a guy like Young is going to stay on that pitch and just kind of slapped it the other way. Just leaves it right out over the plate, 85 miles an hour. And that's just our young guys up there on the mound just trying to overthink. I mean, you just blew the guy away with a couple pitches down and in, made him look bad. Then you're going to try to trick him and go away with a something soft out there. And more times than not, the hitters are going to stay on that pitch because they're cheating and try to get to that one in and just slap it out there.
3 hits in the ball game for EY, a career high in a single game. Just getting started here in the big leagues and maybe doing so on a full-time basis. Dexter Fowler, a ground ball. Demmel is there, and he keeps it where it's at. Like a setup man, when your club is down a pair, you can't give up any more. Boyer, Demmel, great out of the bullpen tonight. And the Diamondbacks unable offensively, as you can see, to do what they want to do at this point. Adam LaRoche getting closer to 80 RBIs. That's it, though, with regard to timely hits for Arizona. Esmail Rogers was great. And then they moved to Matt Reynolds, who was a treat to watch in his second Major League appearance. He looks like he'll play in the big leagues just fine. And so Matt Belisle, the right-hander, takes the ball, and what a year he has had. On 57 times now, and it's been multiple innings, because you can see 238 the opponent's batting average. In his last 25 games since, well before the All-Star break, his ERA is 0.90. 30 innings, 3 earned runs.
And that's getting it done right there. Fastball, low to mid-90s, curveball, slider, change, and a cutter. I'm sure these lefties are going to see that cutter sooner or later.
Augie Ojeda digs into the batter's box. Has to get into a scrap there with the slider. 0-1 the count. That brings the infield in. Stuart Wayne at third. Oh my goodness, outside corner, 0-2 the count.
And the Rockies have always done a good job of having a good steady bullpen. Well,
just hanging around, and a tough at bat reminds me of, well, going gonzo for kids. I mean, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in the batter's box, don't forget you can get that bobblehead autographed. 2 tickets to a ball game. 602-462-3899. 800-952-5334 as that one is away. See if folks are still calling in. Boy, hard at work still. Those pocket schedules out front, answering phones. Doing good stuff. We're going to stay with it in the post-game show as well. That one bounces in there. Told only 700 left, so keep it going. You have picked up more than 1,300. You're doing great work. Raising now at this point about $65,000 for the community, for charities, Boys and Girls Clubs, 100 Club. Augie, a bouncing ball. In time for the out. So Ojeda doesn't win that fight there. And now Stephen Drew.
Oh, this is what you want. If you're going to make a run at it right here, you're going to want to do it with your top of your order coming up here in the 8th and 9th inning.
We're not booing. We're drewing. Well, who would boo Stephen Drew? Just a nice young man, quality individual. I'd have to ask you to leave if you booed him. Now, you fans may boo Belisle because, Gonzo, he looks like he's no fun to face.
No, and he's right. He's going right after you. Look, Drew's not even in the batter's box. He's just waiting on Drew. Defenses love when you have pitchers like that.
Yep. Little rub up with the ball, but he hasn't left at all. Takes a step back of the rubber. He's ready to go. The 1-2. Bounces in there. See if Stephen can fight and find his way on. Single in 3 trips. And he called time just because of the pace of Belisle.
Yeah, and what he's trying to do is disrupt the repetition that Drew has in the batter's box. He's trying to get his timing down.
Don't forget, by the way, follow Fox Sports Arizona's coverage of D-backs baseball on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Droid with MLB.com at bat. 2010 play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. It's a great app. Just got a note a moment ago. Gracie's watching on his phone right now. The 2-2. Right back through the box. Stephen Drew maybe threw him off enough. There's a base hit. And as we told you, those young ladies are Disney fans are happy. D for Disney and for Drew now for Stephen. Here's Justin Upton. Heavy fastball dives in. The Diamondbacks have been no good to themselves in the 8th and the 9th inning. They have been outscored 156-85. That is a differential of 71 runs. And that is far and away the highest total in the game. Maybe turn the tables tonight. Hurt somebody else late in the ball game.
Yeah, it looks right there. They're going to stay away from Upton, and Upton just needs to look for a good pitch to drive the other way. I mean, he's got the power to hit that ball out to right center field. He's just got to stay on top of it and not get under it.
By the way, we got another note from A1C Comstock again, serving our country. He said, you know, Courtney Ann wasn't listening when you guys said a shout out on the air. Can you say it again so she can hear it? Thank you very much. Well, at Cannon Air Force Base in New Mexico, you serve our country. We'll do anything for you and for love. So, yes, there you go. That one has popped up and into the seats. But, you know, I don't know how many more times we can do it, though. I mean, Courtney Ann, we need you listening all the time. He loves you.
Courtney probably didn't believe him the first time. He said, they were just talking about you.
Two and two.
He tried to pull that pitch right there, and now it's middle away. And they're going to stay out there on Justin, and they're going to stay out there on Reynolds also.
Pitches away. 3-2 the count. Six, 4, 3, a double play. Tough break, hit it hard. Right to the shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki. Kind of certainly a one-of-a-kind collectible. 2 tickets to a ball game as well, $50. A great cause, 602-462-3899. 602-462-3899. Hang on if you're on hold. 800-952-5334. And these great charities, part of Going Gonzo for Kids. You folks are doing a great job tonight. Even if this were to be the end of it, we'd be certainly very proud, but keep it up if you're interested. Tell a friend. Think of those gifts. I kiddingly say that Christmas is almost around the corner. Well, you may as well now. This would be a great gift thinking ahead. I know I get the business when I say that, but this is only the night that they're on sale.
Yeah, keep the calls coming in. You get 2 free tickets, too, to a ball game here. Bring the family out, get a bobblehead, and we appreciate everything that you fans have done to try to help out tonight.
To the 9th inning we go. Great stuff, folks, tonight. By the way, how long did it take you to sign all of those?
You know what? For me, it wasn't as bad. It was all the volunteers and the employees that stayed here getting them out of the boxes. I think that was the tough part. 2 days.
2 days?
2 days. We hammered it out in 2 days.
Well, I'm looking at one. I have it in my hands right now, and you've seen the video of him signing. It's not just a L in a line and a kind of a half G in a line like some people do with their autograph. I mean, this is, I just have one of the several thousand, and it's sharp. It's good looking. You took your time with it, didn't just scribble right through. That's neat.
I try to have good penmanship. My mom was a school teacher, so.
When you get that autograph, as you saw in the video, when you've ordered it or when you choose to do so here in a bit, That's right there on the cap bill. Right there on top of the cap bill. Sure. Right there.
Look at how excited I look right there. That was.
Hey.
I kept looking at boxes and boxes and thinking there's got to be an end in sight.
Troy Tulowitzki drilled there as that one is fired inside.
Tried to come in right there. That fastball just ran in right under Tulowitzki's hamstring right there.
So Tulowitzki is on. He had walked, flied to right, doubled in a run, grounded out to second, and now hit by a pitch. In. The other player that Dusty Baker had words of high praise for is this man on the mound. He said, I don't blame your club for riding his ups and downs, especially when you're a club that's below 500. It will pay off. Arms like that are hard to find.
Well, we got some great young arms in our bullpen. We just need to find consistency with them and confidence. That's all those guys are lacking.
Two and 0. Popped up. Ian Stewart, Reynolds, and Montero. Nice communication. Mark calls him off. He's coming in. That ball's out there in front of him. It's his ball, and Miggy peels out. All right, 2 outs. Tip of the cap to the bullpen. Yep. I heard him. And now Todd Helton. Change up. The 0-1. Another changeup. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Todd Helton.
Todd way out in front of that last pitch right there.
The 1-2. Just missed with a fastball, but a little bit off, and with Helton hitting, you're not going to get an extended zone.
Yeah, that's what you call a reputation right there. Tim Tashida behind the plate, been around a long time, knows as good a hitter as Helton is.
Change up, popped up. Helton ticked off with himself. Reynolds sticks with it. All right, to the bottom of the 9th we go. Hard hitting Kelly Johnson, Chris Young, and Adam LaRoche stack up pretty nicely for the D-backs. The ninth inning we go. If you're a Diamondbacks fan, put that rally cap on. Thanks for spending the evening with us and raising funds for a good cause and enjoying a Friday night at the ballpark with Luis Gonzalez, Jody Jackson. I'm Darren Sutton. And we welcome you. We also welcome Houston Street into the ball game. The injuries that plagued him delayed his start to the season. Street ready to roll now. 9 save opportunities. Picked up a loss a couple of outings ago in Milwaukee out of the bullpen. Had a blown save to follow that. And then locked down a save against the Dodgers 2 days ago. Tell us about the stuff, please. We've seen him a lot throughout his career, but what are the scouting reports now say, Gonzo, about Houston Street?
Well, Houston's a guy with fastball, slider, changeup. He likes to throw that slider to both sides of the plate. And, he's a guy who sinks the ball both sides. He's been scuffling, so let's hope he can continue that trend against us.
A nice little stack up offensively with Johnson, Young, LaRoche, Reynolds, Montero. Let's hope they all get an opportunity to hit. Kelly, fly to left, struck out and walked. Standing in at a 278 clip. He's got 19 home runs. Couple of Texans doing battle as that one is a souvenir. 0-1 the count.
Kelly 1 for 1 there in his career. He's just got to find a way to get on base and try to get that tying run to the plate.
Oh, 0-2 the count. The 0-2. Kelly, base hit, right field. Past Todd Helton. What was the pitch there? Because he had him out front. Was that an off-speed pitch?
Yeah, I think it was. That might have been a breaking ball right there. Just had him way out in front. It was almost like a changeup or a little backup slider. Didn't do anything. Kelly did a nice job staying on that, hitting it in the hole there between first and second for a base hit. Nice start here to the inning.
Here in the month of August, Street with an ERA of 7. There have been blow-ups, certainly, Chris. Young takes a strike right down the middle. Twelve hits for the Rockies. 8 for the Diamondbacks. Street had 35 saves a year ago. Outside corner, 0-2. Before that, did his work as a 21-year-old, saving 23 with the A's. 37. He's battled some arm problems along the way. The 0-2. Not interested in that slider. 1-2.
He's definitely staying away right there. Most relievers late in the game, if they're going to get beat, they want to get beat the other way. They don't want these big power hitters to pull a ball for a homer.
Did not bite. 2-2 the count. He threw him another slider. Adam LaRoche waits on deck. Ground balls used to be the out machine for Street. Those ground ball rates have gone down. More outs in the air, more balls hit in the air. That could be dangerous in this ballpark. The 2-2. And another take. 3-2 the count.
Street stuck to his game plan. He's continued to go out there, but Chris Young has done a great job laying off some tough pitches.
Tracy looks on as his closer. On 3-2, fires it. Outside, ball 4. Street wanted to straighten up and ask where that was. He didn't do it. Let's talk a little bit of strategy here. Although you have a guy with nearly 80 RBIs, is it foregone conclusion that he tries to drive in a few more, or do you consider the bunt?
No, I think you got to let LaRoche hit here because you have Reynolds, who's a high strikeout guy, right behind him. And Street has been throwing to the other side of the plate. So you got to let LaRoche take a shot out of here. He's been a hot hitter here this last month.
7 home runs in August, the most in the big leagues. Tied with Albert Pujols and Big Adam Dunn. And you know we can't get enough of Big Adam Dunn on this show. Outside, 1-0 the count. You folks might remember when this guy sitting to my right had his number 20 retired, that there was some drama. There was a victory. There was some noise. It was a walk-off. Well, now he's doing something for charity. He's part of our telecast. I'm just saying. 4 walk-off wins this year. Now they have to crawl, though, before they can walk off. And that means get things going even more so. The 1-0. High fly ball, hugging the line, giving it around as Smith runs out of room.
Oh, and Smith's got a long way to go. The outfielders right now are playing no doubles. So they're basically playing just short of the warning track.
Outside. 2-1 the count. 26 1/3 innings of work. 3 long balls allowed by Street. And 103 batters faced coming in. The 2-1 to Adam. Inside, nowhere close. 3-1 the count.
And Adams done a good job right there, putting himself in a hitter's count right here. 3-1. Now he can look for something to drive right here. Tracy there with a look of concern. All hands on deck. Now he's going to have that bullpen firing up here.
Yeah, they start to move around out there. We'll see in a moment who it is. 3-1 the count. 3-2.
Oh, he's got a good pitch there to handle. He just missed it. He's going to want one more of those.
Beimel, veteran left-hander, Joe Beimel. And Betancourt as well. Fastball, strike 3. So 1 out. Certainly all hope is not lost. Just 1 away. Those tying runs still on first and second.
First pitch, fastball away right there. Adam just missed that one in. Went away again with a fastball. Tried to come in. That was his pitch right there. He missed it and swung right through the fastball in.
All right, Mark Reynolds. LaRoche Sticks right back out there on the step to watch his teammate.
Well, my money right here is that he's going to be setting up a way right here. He's not going to let Reynolds beat him anything in.
Well, that's exactly what happens. Right down the middle, 0-1. A little bit of run. He might have set up a way, but that was splitting the play.
Yeah, this is where Reynolds has to realize he's got the power to hit the ball out to right center field. Instead of trying to hook that ball, if he looks out there and gets a good pass at it, he could drive it out of here and win this ball game.
Slider, strike 2.
Front side coming out once again. Mark's got to be sitting out there. If he comes in with anything, it's going to be for show. And if you get it in there, just try to battle and fight it off. But for the most part, you got to be looking out on the other half of the plate right here.
The Rockies closer ahead 0-2. Got him. So Reynolds goes down, strikeout the second time tonight, and the 168th time on the season.
That's not even close to the strike zone. I think Mark's just got to do a better job right there looking for a pitch up in the zone over the outer half of the plate.
Bob Apodaca out with a visit to have a conversation. Pitching coach for these Rockies, Miguel Montero. Miguel 1 for 2, just 2 career plate appearances against Houston Street. Miggy 0 for 3 tonight. Fly to left, struck out, then fly to left again.
Oh, if he can get a ball in the gap right here, we got CY at first base, so it'll be a fun competition to watch here to see how quick they can get it in if Chris Young could score from first. Of course, they're not holding any of them on with 2 outs, first and second, so he can get a little bit more off of first base there.
And speaking of maybe splitting the gap and driving one, any other sort of pop-up or Texas leaguer is 100% dropping in. Now, that won't tie the game, but they are the epitome of playing no doubles right now.
There's no doubt the outfielders know that the tying run is at first, and they don't want the winning run to get to second base. That's why the outfielders play what we call no doubles, which is as far back as you can get. Miggy taking a shot at it right there, trying to win the game.
1-1 the count. See if he can get that pitch away. See if he can drive it the other way. Not necessarily over that yellow line, just somewhere to the opposite field. Outfielders all the way back. Inside corner. They don't want to allow him to get to the opposite field.
Well, really, that's Miggy's strength, is going the other way. Ball looked like it was just off the plate. Tim Tashida didn't seem to think so, called it a strike. Miggy's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes here.
The 1-2. Just got a piece of it.
The hard part here is we got our first 2 runners on base with a base hit and a walk, and we haven't been able to move them around. We went from first and second with nobody out to first and second with 2 runners out.
The 1-2. Again. Just hanging around, hoping for a mistake. anything in the air that's going to die in center field will at least extend the inning. Can't emphasize how deep Fowler is playing. Miggy down the line, into the corner it goes. Fair ball! They are racing on around. Come on down, says Youngblood to the plate. We're tied! And Miggy gets it done. Score, Miguel Montero, just inside that line. And I mean just. Gonzo, what's that, about 3 inches fair?
Yep, nice piece of hitting right there.
John Hester takes over. And the message sent there is he's just the faster catcher. Because Hester will stay in and do the catching, and they will intentionally walk Gerardo Parra. And they'll have a scrap on their hands in the on-deck circle. It's Rusty Ryle. I'm excited to see what Rusty can do with a bit of an edge here.
Oh, man, that's a great piece of hitting right there by Miguel. And we got some happy guys up here in the booth now.
Heck, all over this ballpark.
See if I can get Miggy to buy 4 bobbleheads tonight.
That's exactly right. Miggy's speaking, and I got to feel like $200 in there after picking up that hit. He's just saying, I just know I'm the slower catcher. Your winning run is out there in the form of John Hester. Your game-winning RBI, you hope if you're Kirk Gibson, is in the form of bench player and utility man extraordinaire Rusty Ryle. Pinch hitting this season, 244. On the season overall, 281.
Well, if Rusty's been watching the other right-handed hitters, they're going to go slider away. Fastball slider away.
There it is, slider away. Only 8 pinch hit runs batted in this year by Diamondbacks pinch hitters. And that's in 170 plus at bats. The 0-1. Same pitch, 0-2 the count.
I mean, you got to be looking out there. I mean, just get jammed or anything. If there's no way he could be thinking that they're going to try to come in.
Out there again. 1-2 the count. 3-3 our score here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Looking to end it now. Start the fireworks show. Let's get on out of here. And there's nothing more that a man from Oklahoma loves doing than beating a pitcher from Texas. This pinch hitting stuff not easy, especially for a guy with very little big league experience. Two and two the count. Hester running for Montero. Montero has Street on the ropes. Let's hope that Ryle can knock him out. The 2-2. Little check swing roller. And in time for the out. Ryle certainly frustrated, but his teammates get it done. More specifically, Miguel Montero. We play on. Extra innings. Miggy.
Beef Jerky, official sponsor of Extra Innings. Feed your wild side.
Back at the ballpark, Aaron Heilman goes to work. You know, whenever I think of beef jerky, I think of going gonzo for kids. I'll tell you that right now. Kind of have the later crowd, the second shifters that may be coming on home now. Raising funds for the community. An autographed Luis Gonzalez bobblehead plus 2 game ticket for $50. Bouncing ball. There's Mark Reynolds. Heilman gets Chris Iannetta quickly. '54th appearance on the year for Heilman, a 3.90 ERA. Anyway, 602-462-3899. 800-952-5334. And we kind of sense that this may be a blessing from up above, if you will. A little extra time to keep raising funds. And, of course, it'll keep on going with Todd and Joe in our postgame show. You guys have been great tonight, wherever you may be. And, look, Gonzo, we've heard about it. Calls from all over the country.
We have. I'm extremely excited and proud to be associated with all the fans and the people here who supported us and all the charities tonight. It is a team effort.
It's 1-1 to count to Clint Barnes. You bet. Strike 2. Certainly went around. We'll be back with you tomorrow night as well. Don't forget. As you can see, he went around clearly. Barry Enright against Ubaldo Jimenez. Excited about that one. 5 o'clock. On the air at 4:30. Miggy. It wasn't one that sailed over the wall. sailed far enough, more than 200 feet, that's for sure, down that line. Did it get the bat or the arm? It hit the batter, and Barmes reaches.
The thing about that Miggy hit was it was just good enough down the line to get Chris Young around the bases to score. Got in that corner down there.
Bullpen tonight, by the way, has done good work. 4 1/3 innings. No earned runs allowed. I guess of late, I had a chance to go to a place in the Midwest in Sandusky, Ohio called Cedar Point. It's known as the roller coaster capital of the world. I think the roller coaster capital of the world is actually beyond the left field wall, right by the foul pole. There are more roller coasters out there.
It's called the bullpen?
That's exactly right. The good news is there actually have been some mountains climbed. That's the good news. That wasn't happening much earlier this year. Tonight's a step back in the right direction. Well, there's your roller coaster riders out there. Three 3-0 the count. He'd rather ride the carousel than eat cotton candy, though. Thank you very much. He'd just soon pass on the roller coasters. That beard is salt and pepper enough already. 3-1.
I would say managing will make you lose your hair, but Gibby didn't have much up there when he started, so. He's just a man who has passion for the game.
We love what he had to say earlier.
There's another man right there. Managed a little bit in the minor leagues, lost the rest of his hair also.
He'll elevate on occasion with intention. Did so there. Spilboards 3-2 the count.
A four-seam fastball right there, riding up in the zone.
Two. Runner goes. Fastball throw by Hester. Double play! tying the ball game up. I know you folks at home, Gonzo can't get enough of that highlight.
Love it.
And now enjoying the rest of the night off. And by the way, his replacement, we just kind of lay it out and let you folks enjoy the moment. How good does that feel for John Hester to hop off the bench and bang, throw out a runner to end an inning? Beautiful throw by Hester, right on top of the bag. Yeah, you bet. Stephen Drew. That one is away. Joe Beimel, the veteran left-hander. He has paid dividends. He was available forever and a day heading into this season. They picked him up last minute, these Rockies. Been a big part of their relief corps. Over the outside. All night long, Stephen has been supported by our young Mouseketeers over there. They're very excited for Drew. Have all sights of signs and types of signs. Their rally years are on now, turned backwards.
They do. They got them going. It worked last inning. Let's see if it works again this inning.
Stephen not happy with the strike zone again.
And Stephen doesn't really say too much when he's out there. So for him to complain about something, he must feel real passionate about it.
The 1-2. Slow breaking ball. He pops it up. Bottom half of inning number 10. 3-3 the score. The Reds and the Dodgers are in the top of the ninth inning in L.A. with Cincinnati winning again, leading the Dodgers 3-1. 3-1 is that score. Slow bender popped up. Barnes is there to put that one away. So now Justin Upton. So let's think about Upton tonight. Had a single in the first inning, hit one right back through the box in the fourth. Rolled into a double play in the eighth inning, but hit it hard. One and 0 the count to Upton. Now you got Upton, you've got Johnson waiting on deck.
Continue to set up a way right there on Upton. Setting up on the outside.
1-2 the count. Sounds like there's a concert literally like on the field somewhere right now. There's some music coming from somewhere. 1-2 the count. Line, base hit left field. Maybe it's dancing music here in a moment for the Diamondbacks. As Justin Upton comes up with a single. Kelly fly to left, struck out. Has walked and singled to right. Where's the music coming from? Well,
I love our game ops guys. They're going bananas over there.
They might be going bananas. Play the music. All the way to the wall it goes. Turn it up. Turn it up loud. Come on down, Justin Upton. The Diamondbacks win. Now you can turn that music up. fifth walk-off win this year for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Go ahead, guys. Take it away, Jody.
All right, here with Kelly Johnson. And Kelly, your thoughts going up there first pitch with Justin Upton on base?
When I'm in the dugout, I was asking him Jack, telling him I don't know if it was going to want to sit first pitch breaking ball or fastball. And I don't know. Once J-Up got on base, I kind of had a feeling maybe he's trying to get ahead of the fastball. He did it to Steven. So sat all over it.
What do you say about this team? Obviously, the score was 3-1 for quite a long stretch here. And then you led off the ninth inning there, and Miguel ties it up. What does it say about this team to come away with the win tonight?
That was big. We haven't, when you get those, they're so exciting. I mean, it takes a lot to get there. It takes somebody, stepping up. And, in that case, we had to have a couple guys step up. So, huge win, and pitching did great. Kept him in check. So, it's a good way to recover after the last series.
And you mentioned the pitching and what the bullpen was able to do tonight. First it was, Boyer, a couple innings, then Demmel, Vasquez, Heilman. They've had a tough week. They really seem to turn a corner on the road trip and then had a tough week. How much does that mean to them?
I think it means a lot. I think they've been pitching really good. Those guys, they're going to have ups and downs now, but if you were to go back in the last couple of months or whatever, they've really thrown the ball pretty well. And they've been keeping us in games all along, and we just got to find a way to keep playing better.
All right, Kelly, thanks so much. Go enjoy it. He's going to go off and enjoy it, and we'll talk to Justin Upton in just a bit.
Diamondbacks win it by a score of 4-3. A walk-off victory tonight on a fireworks night. It's Quest Diamondbacks Live.